Welcome to the Av Continues podcast. This is episode 188. We're talking about some E3 madness up in here.
Madness.
This is a weekly podcast posted up every Monday on outofcontinues.com as an MP3, or it goes up a little earlier on youtube.com/avcontinues as a video where you can witness the madness.
Madness.
I'm your host, Stafa, and each week I have different guest hosts on with me. And this week I have my brother Ali.
Madness.
That's the only thing he's going to say the entire episode.
Yep. There you
We
go.
got Kevin,
What's up? How's it going?
and we're ready to get things rolling as
Yeah, there's
E3 is wrapping up.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
We are here to talk about everything we saw on the show floor in person. Well, in fact, we're recording live at E3. If you're listening to MP3, if you're watching the video, then
No.
we're not at E3.
Yeah.
Oh, we just apparently you decided to buy a house there
Yeah.
temporarily just for
It
this.
just happens to look like your normal house.
We just this is just for the listeners though. We're not in the house. You know, we actually are on the show floor. We
There you
just
go.
told
We have
everybody
amazing.
We told
Boy,
everybody
no,
to be
Adam-
quiet.
Adam Boys just walked
Yeah,
behind
we
us.
told everybody to hush. We're doing a podcast, so you know that's why.
But no, we've
Sounds
got
so
the
great.
entire show for as our audience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, before we get going, I just want to say a quick disclaimer that all opinions expressed on this show are of our own and not of our employers, whether past, present, or future. So, yeah, let's get to E3.
E3.
E3, a lot was announced. A lot happened.
I think I'd like to say that before we even go into the details, this is easily the best E3 in years.
I agree.
Years.
Many years.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, like, we had things that were announced that were like, it is available right now. that happened since like Sega Saturn.
I feel like that happens a couple times.
Well,
usually like smaller things.
it's usually demos, but
Yeah.
like actual products, like the Fallout shelter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, available right now.
Except he said it was available for everything. Just and
Just
iOS.
iOS.
She
Yeah.
must be so upset.
Thanks for beta testing iOS.
Exactly.
Got Kevin good.
So, anyways,
He knows what's up.
I think what we can do is just start off by like skimming over the press conferences, and then if there's anything that we saw, you know, online that wasn't included in the press conferences, we can talk about that
Yep.
Okay.
afterwards.
I would-
And we can also grade each press conference with you know, a letter, A through F.
Sounds good.
All right.
F.
I'm gonna give everything an E.
Bethesda.
Actually, wait. Before Bethesda, there was Oculus. Bethesda was on Sunday, but Oculus had their presentation on like Thursday or Friday.
Did they have anything gaming to show, like games to show off, or is it just
They didn't show any games, but they did
They
show
just
off.
announced the hardware, was it?
They announced what the consumer version will look like,
mm-hmm.
and so they actually have it done as far like mostly. So
It's not a piece of cardboard.
It's not a piece of cardboard,
Man,
and
I wanted one.
you can't like fold it up. But no, what they did announce though is that they've made a lot of hardware changes. So in previous like developer kits, everything was, at least the screen was one screen that was horizontal.
Mhm.
Then the final version will have two screens that are vertical for each eye, and it's like less than half the weight of Dev Kit 3. And it comes with headphones and everything that already attached, and it comes with a mic. I mean, not mic. Sorry, Yes, it does come with a mic built into it as well.
Can I play Red Alert on there?
I'm sure you can play whatever game you want because it just functions like another screen, but it won't make use of the.
I don't think Kevin
emotion.
got that.
I don't think I did either.
I don't.
You remember Red Alert?
Yes, I do.
Yes. I don't think Kevin got it.
Got what?
Red Alert for the Virtual Boy.
Oh.
Toy. Dang, and why do you have that like tucked away in the back of your head?
He was waiting. Probably had that. And then so it comes with a little camera for all the tracking. But they also announced the Oculus Touch, which is a new controller. It's 2 wireless controllers that that pair with your Oculus stuff, and it has finger movement recognition, so you could like point, and so it has like these. The controllers like have this thing that go around your hand, and I guess it senses each of the fingers, so you can like point at things, and it'll translate that to the game as well.
It's like that Sega thing that you put on the ground, and then you'd like move your.
Oh, that like. What's it? Octangle or octagon?
This is what fast.
It's kind of like blending the leap motion with an actual controller.
Yep.
But
I have a Leap Motion. It's upstairs.
And then they also announced
Thought about getting one.
partnership with Microsoft, so they're bundling an Xbox One controller with every Rift.
And you could stream.
So you can actually.
You
with
could
the
stream
Xbox
your
streaming.
Xbox One games to your Oculus Rift.
Well, this is a lot of stuff that's from the Microsoft press conference.
I guess
so.
we could cover that.
Yeah, we can talk about it there, but this was all first
Okay.
announced at the Oculus.
Oh,
event.
okay.
So Oculus F. Moving on.
Sure, because I didn't even watch it.
I'd give them like a B. I mean, they showed stuff.
didn't
I wish
watch it.
I wish they mentioned the price of it, but they didn't.
Now Bethesda.
Bethesda. I'm gonna just right off the
was-
bat say A+.
Bethesda, I think they were quality over quantity because I mean they didn't announce a lot of stuff, but you don't expect a lot from them because they're just they're not one of the bigger AAA publishers,
Right.
They're not like EA where you expect 20 games from them.
Yeah.
So they
and only 2 of them being good.
so
nothing EA.
like Bethesda, they straight up showed a lot of stuff, and most of it was very impressive.
Yeah, I think out of everything that was shown, it was the only thing that I wasn't really impressed with was Battlecry,
Yes,
because that was just like
Battlecry did not care for.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online, Teriel Unlimited or whatever.
Tamriel.
Don't care.
Yeah, they're just announcing that it's coming out for consoles now.
Doom.
Expansion or something? Or?
No, Tamriel they changed the name from just Elder Scrolls Online to Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited because it's now it's one-time payment. There's no subscription fee,
Oh,
and they're kind of making it more of a service.
Doom.
Yeah, Doom was pretty good.
I still think, and I mean, Kevin's gonna disagree with this. I still think Doom was the best thing they showed.
I think Doom was the best thing they showed.
I mean, I know a lot of people have been waiting for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I was impressed
And
by Doom. It looked
Doom.
they had
Doom
me
looked
at
good.
the very beginning when they double jumped.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like in the demonstration when he double jumped, and I was like, like that's not something you
Like,
typically
Yeah, I wasn't
see.
expecting that at all. either.
I was like just melting from that, and like no one in the audience reacted. I was like, he double jumped.
Well, I think that's becoming like a normal thing now. Like every game is starting to add more mobility, especially if it's
That's
a shooter.
awesome.
I know,
That's awesome,
but
that
it's
he's
not
more
surprising as it is. Like it's great, but it's not surprising
mobile.
anymore.
Like the game looked very good, as in like graphically, it looked amazing. It looked very fun.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that the drops, they like kind of magnetated towards the character rather than rather than like-
magnetated.
yes, they magnetated. They vacuumed into the character rather than having to like
to walk over
walk
that
her-
one.
Well, like I mean, worse than that, like Uncharted. One issue I've always had with that is the fact that you always had to press a button to pick up the ammo. Or
makes it more immersive.
Immersive. Come on now.
You have to like
Like,
grab
just-
down and reach for. You can't just step on a gun and then pick up its bullets.
Hey,
Why not?
Hey,
Why
what
not?
If you got monkey feet or something, man.
But not on top of all that, Doom Snap Map.
Yeah, Snap Map is really cool. It's essentially like much better Halo Forge because you can actually put logic to things and create missions essentially.
Like I was super impressed by that.
Yeah.
It looked really.
That
I
game
think-
engine.
I think it was more.
You
Beautiful.
take 6.
I
Yep.
think it was more comparable to like the Portal 2 level creator.
Uh-huh.
It looked. I mean, like visually, it looked more comparable to that, and the fact that you can make single player content with that as well
Yeah.
is also really impressive.
Mhm.
And they got rid of, or they moved away from mega textures for dynamic lights, and also moving away from mega textures will make modding and stuff like user generated content a lot easier too.
Mhm.
So,
Like my
man, that game was
mind
so good.
It does look good.
exploded and then imploded. Like Doom made it explode, and then Doom Snap Map just made it like into a black hole.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
No, I'm gonna
I-
get that checked
it
out.
was
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Okay.
Yo, dog,
Mm.
crazy.
Who you trying to be right now?
Me. And the other things, I mean, they didn't show anything, but the Elder Scrolls Legends, I thought that was
That's
a
pretty-
cool announcement.
Yeah, I'm also pretty like interested in that. It's strategy card game
You
in
know,
the Elder Scrolls
it's-
universe.
MMORPGs were a huge trend for a long time.
Yeah, now
Then it became MOBAs.
well, MOBAs are still pretty.
They're kind of
They're slowing
it's
down.
stabilizing.
Yeah,
now.
they are stabilizing.
Now it's becoming CCGs.
Yeah,
That's the huge trend.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I don't think Elder Scrolls has as popular characters as
Yeah, there's-
Warcraft does, but
yeah. There aren't going to be
I'm interested
like
in seeing how it's going to turn out.
set characters unless you're talking about like the gods or something like that are in the universe. But otherwise, yeah, there's no main like character that you would have.
I can't
throughout.
wait to play the best card, which is the created character card.
There you go.
Every card will be a created character card.
It'll take about
That's the secret to the strategy.
It'll take about 30 minutes to play that one card, maybe even an hour.
I was gonna say only 30 minutes.
Fallout 4 and Fallout Shelter, I guess.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are both
that's what
really cool.
I'm super excited for. So yeah, Fallout 4. That was my favorite one. Obviously,
I didn't think I was going to be excited by it because of the fact that I haven't really played Fallout.
oh, okay.
I played like an hour of Fallout 3. I got outside the vault and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I didn't come back to it because I had a project going on.
Mhm.
But
And Fallout. Never mind. I
but
was gonna start a flame.
like this
Troll on you.
really got me when the whole, I guess, like Mass Effect like interactions.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixed feelings about having a voiced character because I mean this is the first time one of those like open world Bethesda games has had voiced characters. And
I like it.
some people, so there's good arguments for both sides. One, it's great because yeah, you get better, I guess, interaction with the dialogue. Everything seems more fluid, and you can have the opportunity for, quote unquote cinematic dialogue and
Mhm.
making it feel more realistic.
Mhm.
But then the other side to that is one of the biggest things about Elder Scrolls and Fallout is that you kind of you're not playing a different character, you're playing you. Like how would you be, or like if you're like if you're playing Mass Effect, you're playing the role of Shepard. And you're just making his choices. If you're playing The Witcher, you're playing Geralt, and you're just making his choices. You're not actually
I'm
trying to be that
I'm
character.
Staffa Shepherd. So
But yeah, but then
I
there's
don't
like
know what you're
'cause
talking about.
there's a lot of things where, especially in the previous games, where depending on a lot of your stats, a lot of your dialogue would completely change. Like you could
Some
be,
of it's pretty funny.
yeah, like you could be as like your intelligence could be at like 1, and then your strength,
your intelligence could be potato, and then
and then
you remember that picture I sent you like a year or so back about Fallout 2, where the guy's intelligence was like 0 or something like that, and all his replies are terrible.
Yeah.
So like people will sometimes do that intentionally so that they're playing a specific type of character. Maybe they're playing a crazy person. Maybe they're playing just like a stupid dumb brute. And sometimes they're playing like a scientist who's not necessarily very good at combat, but he's very good at all the other things, and so they can role play that. And the dialogue, the options in there are usually really immense. Like you have like 20 different replies based on like what your stats are.
Well,
but it seems like now
doing voice acting, that
it's heavily reduced because of the cost of that,
just the logistics behind recording all of that and writing all of that.
And so now
because you have
dialogue,
to do it for each gender as well. So.
Yeah, and then each interaction only has a possibility of 4, because unless they do like a 1, 2, 3 and then a more option, which gives you a maximum of 6, because there's gonna be 1, 2, 3 more, and then 4, 5, 6, and then back.
Yeah.
So the limitation, there's a lot of limitation in that. Plus, like you're not going to be able to necessarily know how the player is imagining that character in their head, so they might not be able to get across the whole psychopath type person.
For me, I find seeing the character on screen more appealing than just like having dialogue choices, and sometimes it's like I feel like the character isn't really there. Like I play,
because the character is you.
Well,
there is no character there.
I played
like
I don't know, like 30 hours of Skyrim or so, and like I never felt like I really had a character. And I think that when I play the Mass Effect games, I feel like the difference between Bethesda and BioWare games is like BioWare is more about the personal story, and Bethesda is more about the world.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
So this Fallout game making the character more alive is appealing to me.
Yeah, and I mean, I am still not 100% sure how I feel about that. Like I said, I understand the appeal to both sides, but I haven't really picked a side yet, and I don't think I will be able to until I play it for a few hours and experience it and see how it is compared to the previous games.
Yeah.
But the other one that I mean, like they've added so many things like in Fallout 4 outside of the dialogue now, and there's the good thing that is like the whole crafting system. They've really improved upon that, especially like weapons.
Can't believe
and
that
armor.
You can craft so many things to hurt people.
Okay, Anita.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, that was so.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So dumb. But like especially the weapon and armor modding. Like you could start with a pistol of like any type, and then mod it enough that it becomes like this machine shotgun pistol with a barrel magazine, and there's just so much stuff you can
Borderlands
do
now.
Over a gazillion guns.
But you don't just find them, you craft them. You craft the components, you combine them how you want. Same thing with the armor, you can modify it to a lot of different things. And I thought the crafting thing was
call
cool.
this game Guncraft?
I made a tweet, I think it said Fallout Craft.
See, I'm not sure if I like that though. I mean, Bethesda, like, they have a lot to do in them. Like their games, they have a lot to do in them already. And I feel like adding all of these creational aspects to them kind of
it makes the game more broken.
Well, probably.
Yeah, there's
I'm
potential
sure
for a lot of bugs.
I'm sure that they're not known for the best technology, but I think it kind of detracts from, I don't know, like the actual world, and instead you're focusing more on crafting these things.
Well,
and I mean, I know that it's there as an option for people, but if I'm not crafting my own weapons or whatever, or crafting my own base, I'm sure I'm missing out on a lot.
Yeah, well, here's the way that I see it. So one of the big things, like both you and stuff has said, that Bethesda really focuses on world design. Like environments is their thing. But the second thing that they really have is play style. Because like if you look at the Elder Scrolls, there's just such a wide variety of character builds that you can make. And the fact that you're not limited to like a mage can only use magic weapon like a staff or something like that. And then, but you can be a battle mage. You could be, whatever you want to do. You can combine any type of weapon with any type of character's, style with any type of armor and make your own type of character. So being able to have those different playstyles is another big aspect of their games. And that hasn't been necessarily true for Fallout, other than the fact that you just have every weapon available to you.
Dude with guns.
Yeah, and so now that they're letting you expand upon that with the whole, New Vegas started the crafting system, and they did a really good job with weapon modding. But now that it's built in with much more, there's just it's expanded to a point where it's almost like Borderlands style, where you can just have so many different types of guns. I think that's a cool component, and you can kind of each time you play through it with a different type of character, you can have so many different variety of weapons.
Yeah, and Dishonored 2.
Yeah, Dishonored 2 looks really good.
Well, I mean that's
it was mostly cinematic.
I like the whole transforming room.
Yeah, and that's actually
really cool.
a level. I think they said that's actually of an area in the game.
I didn't see that trailer.
Like my eyes were getting confused. I was like, "What's happened?" I was trying to keep track of what's changing, and I was like, "This is so confusing."
Yeah, so the cool thing is that now you get to actually choose who you want to play. You can either play as Corvo from the first game.
I don't remember. I beat the first game. I just don't remember if Corvo said anything throughout the entire game, or if I had like any dialogue choices in that game. It's been a while since I played it.
There were dialogue
from
moments, but they were usually just cinematic sequences. Like you didn't have any dialogue options to make.
Okay.
Other than like you had choices to make.
Because from what they're saying about this game is because there's two different characters, you get two different perspectives of the story. So I get the impression that they're gonna actually talk.
Well,
or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
You get to stab people two different ways.
The biggest thing is that the other character option is Emily, which if you don't remember her, she was that little girl that she was like 13 assigned to protect in the first game.
I'm assuming this game is like maybe 5 years later.
They said 15 years.
Oh, 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they said 15 years.
Oh, okay. Because if it was 15 years later, then Corvo's really old.
Yeah.
I was assuming that she's probably 18 or something, so that would be a 5-year difference.
I mean, I can't imagine Corvo being that old. He's probably like in his 40s, late 40s maybe. I don't know. Either way. So they both have completely different.
He's the Ezio of.
He's gonna have like a graying beard, but he's still climbing buildings. Like it's no big deal.
When I was watching the trailer, like before they revealed it was her, like I figured it was gonna be a girl because of you could see that the character was very slim.
Yeah.
So it was either gonna be a super skinny guy or it was a female. Yeah. I was like that's obviously a female.
Yeah. So yeah, each one has their own different weapons and different abilities, and they're not the same across both. So that'll I guess change a little bit of play style. But yeah, I'm not sure how they're gonna do the perspective because it is still the same game.
I'm so disappointed though, man. You got two different characters to play.
You can't just
so disappointing.
Two different characters, and apparently
choice is so bad. Why would they give me choices?
And then Anita again. Why couldn't it be exclusively female?
I don't know. Why would you make me play as a girl? You should have just made it guy only. Gosh.
I don't know what you're talking about. Overall, I give Bethesda an A.
Yeah, A definitely.
I was very happy with their presentation. It was quality over quantity.
Yeah, they showed like 4 things very strongly.
Like Battlecry did not care about Dishonored Definitive Edition. I was like, come on now.
Yeah, that was like that's not necessary.
I didn't watch the whole conference. I just watched like trailers from the conference. So I can't really give the whole conference a rating, but I mean, I'd say
I give an A. I was very happy. Microsoft.
Yeah.
From like a lot of the stuff on there that they showed, it's either I don't care about or like if it is for people that care about it, it's stuff that we already knew. Like, we already know about Halo 5 and
Yeah.
They showed some gameplay for Halo 5, which I thought looked pretty interesting. I mean, I'm kind of sad that I won't be able to play it, but
I mean, like the first thing that they said that I cared about was Xbox One backwards compatible.
Yes, that was the big thing.
That was what got my attention.
I feel like that's kind of a slap in the face for PlayStation Now.
Well, not only that, but I think I guess Sony tweeted that they have no plans to do backwards compatibility at all.
They don't want to allocate the resources to,
which that's upsetting.
I hope they have backwards compatibility for like 1 or 2, like PlayStation 1 or 2 instead of. I mean, 3 I could understand.
See,
even Microsoft, like Phil Spencer said, it's really hard to get the emulation on Xbox One because they've got different architectures, whatever.
Actually, but there is one question that you have. I don't know if either of you know the answer or if it's something, but it's they
4.
said that they
2 + 2 = 4.
Okay, great, thanks. That answers my question perfectly. The one thing that they mentioned was when they were talking about backwards compatibility, and they said that if you have the Xbox 360 game physically, you can insert the game in your console, it'll download the game, and then you'll be able to go and play. But one thing they did mention was they said through the power of Xbox Live. So I'm wondering, does this require a gold membership in order to be able to do backwards compatibility?
I don't recall them saying anything about requiring
that you don't need gold.
Because they just said
the power of the Xbox Live, I'm pretty sure was like taking screenshots and stuff like that.
Taking screenshots. So
the sharing stuff.
Phil Spencer actually explains how the backwards compatibility works. Like they emulate the whole Xbox One. I'm sorry, the Xbox 360 operating system.
Yeah.
And Xbox One thinks it's a game.
Yeah.
So because it thinks it's a game, it could still do. You could still download that. You could still do.
I see.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when you download the game, it downloads. I think it actually downloads the
probably
files
like an image of
the image of the game.
Yeah.
But also like a wrapper.
Okay, yeah.
For the emulator, so
that makes sense. Okay, I just wasn't sure like if you needed a gold membership because like one thing that does bother me about PlayStation Now is that it's $20 a month in addition to the whatever you're paying for PlayStation Plus.
That's ludicrous.
Yeah,
another wrapper.
Like one thing, what they should do is if you have PlayStation Plus, you should get access to PlayStation Now, or do some kind of bundle deal.
Bundle deal makes sense. Getting access to PlayStation Now for
we can talk about that PlayStation stuff when we get to Sony. The Xbox controller looked really cool.
$150.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks cool.
Wait, $150 for that controller?
$150,
and that's probably without the parts.
Whoa!
I mean, I'm imagining. I can't imagine that they'd include all those parts.
Yeah, I'm guessing you'd have to buy different because it's quite modular. It seems.
I mainly find it funny that they spent like $12 bazillion on the R&D of the first Xbox One controller.
They said 100 million.
100 million.
100 million.
And then like everyone unanimously was like 360 controllers better. And then
I wouldn't say unanimous, but it was there was a divide. I think
the majority of people like 360 controller more. Yeah. And then so they're like, okay, back to the drawing boards.
Yeah, I don't. The biggest thing that bothers me about the Xbox One controller is the analog sticks. Mm-hmm. They're tiny.
Yeah,
they feel like they're just gonna slip out of my hand at any moment. Otherwise, like the rest of the controller is decent. I mean, it's not any different than. I mean, it's not a huge difference, like from the 360 controller. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I'd like one of those controllers for PC.
I would too.
I think it's
honestly, I think Sony and Microsoft should release a mouse and keyboard adapter. I would buy one.
Yeah. But then you've got the people who would complain about it's unfair advantage on mine.
Well, get good.
Deal with it. Hashtag deal with it.
I was playing Uncharted 2 once, and I'm pretty sure I was going against somebody who had mouse and keyboard because he was turning a lot faster.
Probably just had their sensitivity.
No. He was like turning like 180. Like he was like he would turn around and be able to like find where I'm at and shoot at.
I'm pretty sure there's actual command for 180. I think.
it wasn't a direct 180.
Oh,
he was turning.
He
was turning very fast. I don't think it was super sensitive, and I don't think he was using aimbot because he was missing a lot. So I think he was using like a mouse and keyboard, because there are mouse and keyboard adapters.
I know there is one for
I don't know if there's
PS3.
one. I don't think
There is one for PS3.
Is
I think there is.
PS3.
But it would only let you use it in certain games.
Oh, okay.
It felt very unfair that this guy was he was aiming a lot better.
Man, I love the ergonomics of the PS4 controller, but when I played Battlefield, I just loved to use mouse and keyboard.
Back to the conference though.
Yep.
I thought it was cool that they mentioned Fallout 4 will have PC mods.
Yeah, that was a really cool thing. I'm pretty happy that, because now you can actually just download your mods to like a flash drive or whatever and just.
It reminded me of Unreal Tournament 3 though for PlayStation 3, because you could do that too.
Yeah,
and no one never used it because Unreal Tournament 3 was kind of bad.
They showed a whole bunch of games that I didn't really care for. I mean,
I thought Beyond Eyes looked good.
Oh yeah, Beyond Eyes looked good.
Daredevil, the girl, the game.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Except have you seen Perception yet?
Fighting anything, but
I looked it up real quick. It's a Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They showed a bunch of like Rise of the Tomb Raider footage, which
looks like Tomb Raider, which is
I thought it looked good though.
Yeah.
I mean, visually though, especially like the ice looked really nice.
Considering how mad the first one made me, I'll probably pick that game up on the cheap a couple years.
It made no sense to me why they decided to leave that cave during the storm when they should have just made shelter.
Yeah.
Because they want to make her look vulnerable and they want to beat the piss out of her.
I was about to say, they want to just beat her up as much as they can, because
it's just like
she fell like all the way down, like slammed into the side of the ice wall, which probably had like jagged edges.
You don't find male characters like that. I get put through half of that and survive.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Crap.
See, like The Last of Us. He gets stabbed, and then you don't play him for like
half a year.
Yeah, half a year. And then I'm pretty sure, doesn't she get stabbed? Yeah, like the very beginning, doesn't she? Yeah.
Then she falls.
The very beginning of the game.
Right
Laura Croft.
And she just like pulls it out and she's fine.
Yeah. This big rusty,
Well, there was one part where she gets impaled, and then like she gets very slow, and if you jump, she gets hurt, and then you have to like go to the plane to get the flare into her, and then she's good after that.
Yeah, once you cauterize the wound, everything's good. You lose all the pain.
Cauterize the organs. There you go. Didn't feel a thing.
What do you guys think of Sea of Thieves?
I was just about to mention this. I think that one looks pretty awesome, because remember like last week? Yeah, with Cancel Games, I was mentioning Armada of the Damned.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool idea, but sadly they canceled it. And I think finally if Sea of Thieves actually plays as good as it looks, we'll finally get a good pirating game.
Like when I was watching this, before they said the name, I was like, this is Pirates of the Caribbean, The Ride, the game. Based on The Ride, not the movie.
I don't really care for pirate things.
I just thought it was nice to see that Rare was working on an actual game.
Graphically, it looks, though, I don't know, the water tech looks really nice, but
yeah,
I don't know, beyond that, I was just like, okay.
But the only other thing that like really impressed me was the Minecraft HoloLens by Mojang.
Mojang.
That's the biggest reveal right there. Mojang.
So
that's how you pronounce it.
I still call gifts, and I'll call them Mojang. So
Mojang.
So one thing actually that I did read about that kind of put a little bit of disappointment towards HoloLens is that they've always shown. I mean, every company does this, but with HoloLens, it's been like they show more than what it actually can do.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, with HoloLens, whatever they were showing doesn't actually necessarily show up that way.
Mm-hmm.
There is a field of view within your goggles that everything shows up in a hologram form, but then there's just nothing else around that.
Yeah.
So they said that the space that actually shows up is if you take like a deck of cards or just a card and hold it about like a foot away from your face.
Huh.
That's how much space is actually.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, like, I did think what they showed looked really cool, but at the same time, like, I was still thinking, okay, this looks crisp and clear. That's because we're looking at on a screen and not like through a visor. So
yeah, well,
so
they were actually said
how crisp is it going to actually look on a visor? Plus, it was very stable. How stable is it going to actually be? Is it going to be like jiggling around?
Yeah, they said that, or at least they claimed that the footage that they showed on stage was actually a HoloLens that was strapped to a camera. But I don't know how accurate.
That sounds like a story.
Yeah.
But I was impressed.
I think it's a good proof of concept. I think as a product, like I think they want to get people like built up to the idea of this as a product of the future. But right now,
VR is definitely going to be the way to go. But I would absolutely love to see AR as well, because AR like, they have such different applications that they could be they would be great in coexistence.
Like if a much later iteration of Google Glass or something was essentially like HoloLens, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm talking about something that's not like big and bulky and strapped on my head. Like, so I don't know. I think it looked really cool. But even if you were using it to like play, I don't know. It just doesn't seem very practical in my opinion.
Was there anything else from this conference that either of you guys thought was notable?
There was something that they mentioned in between the Microsoft and the EA conference, like during those like mid-conference interviews about Halo 5, and they were talking about this new mode called Warzone, which I thought looks pretty cool.
They mentioned Warzone in the...
But they didn't really talk about it.
They didn't say anything. They just showed a montage video.
Yeah. So they talked about it more in the interview after the press conference.
Which is?
So Warzone is pretty interesting. So the maps are supposed to be 4 times bigger, around 4 or 5 times bigger than their actual multiplayer. Yeah. And then you have, I don't know how many people per team, but you also have AI in the game. So it's kind of like Titanfall, where you have AI mixed in with.
Why didn't they say any of that in the conference?
I have no idea,
because they would rather show off
like this video that like leaves us saying, okay, that's multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because Master Chief, enemy or traitor or friend, Spartan Locke, friend or foe, epic space battles, epic fantasy, epic something else. This is the world of Halo.
Epic games.
They spent like a minute saying that when they could have like shown something like
talked more in depth.
Like when she was rattling on, like it's just one of those typical PR things that make you cringe, and I couldn't stand that. And they just like spend the time to explain like an awesome game mode or something, because like Halo's about the like. Don't get me wrong, I read a bunch of the Halo books, but the Halo games are about the gameplay, okay? Because the story in like the campaign, I think is pretty mediocre. You know, you get the actual good story from the books.
Yeah.
So like spending their time to like, oh, you know, epic battles, you know, like no, stop it.
Yeah, that's the big problem with a lot of E3. Like everything is PR.
Frustrating.
Speaking of epic battles, how about that Gears 4? Not Gears of War 4, just Gears 4.
Honestly, that looked more boring than the Order 1886.
I was super unimpressed with Gears 4.
It's funny.
I have never been huge on Gears of War in general, so
I played Gears 1.
I did play 1 and 2, but I didn't care for them that much. I only played them because I was playing with a friend.
I thought it was sad that, first of all, they said Gears of War Ultimate Edition is only Gears 1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they showed Gears 4, which looked very dark and nothing exciting about it.
Apparently, there were a couple streams where it was just pitch black, like literally pitch black. People like took like screenshots and they're just like, you can't see anything. But when I saw it, I was able to see things. I usually have my monitor.
I was like, what is this, like
brightness up? So
like Resident Evil or something? What are they trying to do with this?
It didn't. I mean, like
is this Resident Evil 6?
Like they took all the stuff that made the original Gears of War games like fun and awesome, and it wasn't there. Like they took it out. They gutted it. They
Like, I don't know who
chainsawed
those
it up.
characters are.
Yeah, like
Like chainsaw literally.
the gameplay, like the Order 1886 gameplay is like that, but the setting's better. So like if they have a new Gears of War game, why not make it Gears of War instead
Because
of
it's not. I guess didn't they like finish the whatever.
finish the fight?
Exactly, finish the fight in 3. So now they have to do something new. So this is kind of like a spin-off, but it's still a sequel. So they just call it something different. Gears 4. It's kind of like
the spequel.
I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
What would you guys rate this press conference?
Microsoft probably
Yeah.
a C.
But they also had Forza Motorsport 6.
Well, I didn't mention it because I was only mentioning things like I thought were
and you,
notable.
And you were literally vroom. He messaged me vroom.
Yeah, I mean it looked really good. I mean,
It looked good.
it was pretty cool that they had an actual Ford GT there.
Oh my god, it's a car!
Like I was confused. Like, okay, they brought a car down. Why?
They did it last
Yeah.
Forza too.
Like, am I watching a video game press conference?
Oh my god!
No,
Yeah,
it's-
haven't you seen the what was it called, the I don't know, Microsoft E3 in a nutshell or whatever? It was like, oh my god, it's a freaking car! They pull out this like McLaren or something. Anyway, but
I'd give them a C as well.
okay,
Microsoft.
Yeah,
Microsoft. Yeah, I'd probably give them a C.
Yeah,
I think
like
it's-
they showed a lot of stuff, but like most of it, as I already mentioned earlier, it was either I didn't care about it or they showed us stuff that we already knew. So if someone were to care about it, it's like, okay, we already know this is happening.
It's like the
I'll-
opposite of Bethesda's.
Yeah,
I'll give them a high C because
you're thirsty.
yeah, thirsty.
High.
Because they are
fruit punch.
like their tone has changed over the years. And I think that's good.
Well, okay, yeah, I might have to do that too because they announced backwards compatibility.
Yeah, and
I think
honestly,
the backwards
like,
compatibility was the most impressive thing that they showed.
I agree.
Backwards compatibility and
The rare collection.
and the Dark Souls 3 trailer.
that trailer was really cool.
I loved that trailer.
But I mean, the
I
Souls
want to
games.
ask you guys real quick. Since you guys are fans of the Souls series, like, what do you think of a Dark Souls 3 already?
It's a little early.
It's early,
But that's
considering
probably, they just teased it. They didn't even like show a trailer of like story. They just teased it. So I'm hoping it's still maybe like another year or so out.
I mean, like,
considering I've been playing Bloodborne, it's way too early.
Yeah.
like Dark Souls 2 came out last year.
Yeah.
Bloodborne came out this year.
I don't think it's gonna.
Dark Souls 3 next
I,
year.
I don't like the idea of companies having biannual games.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Like, yeah,
Like 2 or 3 games a year
it really
in the same like series.
it gets rid of, I don't know what the words I'm looking for. It desensitizes you from what makes
Yeah.
that game good, I guess, and it devalues what changed. Like, you, because the development time is shorter, you have less time to add things, and so less things change, and you end up having more of the same game as opposed to like a bigger jump. Like Fallout 4, it's a much bigger jump.
Yeah.
From
But yeah,
what
because
Fallout
like
3
you
was.
also don't have that long break, so it's not like you're missing it. You just move on to the next one, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
The new game doesn't feel as fresh because you just played the recent Dark Souls game or Bloodborne, and it's kind of similar experience continuously over and over again.
Like Gran Turismo 7, like 6 came out, I think just about 3 years ago now.
I think you're going off on a tangent
Okay.
here. We got a lot of stuff to
Okay.
cover.
Okay,
We're 45 minutes in.
okay, 45.
Okay, we're moving on. EA. I only got 2 things that I saw that I thought were interesting.
Pele and Pele.
Pele and Pele not doing a Pele kick. What was he doing? Come on now. Why did they bring Pele in and he didn't even do a Pele kick?
He would break if he did a
Well,
Pele
if he doesn't
kick.
do a Pele kick, then what's the use of Pele?
So he could. There you go.
Okay.
So a bunch of non-soccer
Mass
fans
Effect Andromeda. I wish that they showed us more, like at least an idea of what's going on.
Well, we know it's in the Andromeda galaxy, so it's a completely new galaxy.
The only thing I know was from the leak that happened like a month ago.
Yeah.
Like, so the trailer itself only makes a little bit more sense because of that leak.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of upset that the trailer did not explain more. That and Unravel, I thought Unravel looked cool.
Oh my goodness, Unravel I think was the best visually the best game shown at E3 this year. I'm gonna just say that.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of really good looking.
There were a lot of good looking games, but I think Unravel had this charm to it, especially just how it looked.
I don't know, man.
That yarn physics.
That guy was super nervous,
dude.
I had mad respect for him though, because he was like, you could tell he was actually passionate about the game.
Hi
guys. social anxiety disorder. But like, I don't know. There are a lot of really. We'll get to that later, but
yeah, there were a lot of good looking
like
games.
I'm not Microsoft's like Cuphead looks amazing. That art style looks nuts.
It's not Microsoft's.
Which one?
Is it Microsoft's?
Yeah. It's Microsoft and PC, I think.
Oh, it's a indie game.
I mean, they're like fun. They're fun.
Whatever. But
anyway.
Either way, EA. That's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
EA.
Unravel
does look good though.
It looks fun. I think the swinging looks fun, and I like physics puzzles.
Yeah, I do too. I know people hate Little Big Planet for it, but I hate them.
I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them for hating it.
I like physics puzzles. So anyway, beyond that, I mean, they showed what was it called? Battlefront.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of growing on me the more I watch it because it's not exactly a Battlefield ripoff, but it's not exactly
only Battlefront Field.
The only two things I thought looked cool about that was one, you had jetpacks, and two, was playing as the hero characters.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea having the heroes in there for each side.
Like that was in Battlefront 2, right?
Yeah,
having the hero characters. So, but like you can't just go into a game and be like, I'm going to play as a hero character right away.
You have to earn it.
Yeah. So that's oh well.
I just wish it was more like Battlefront.
Yeah, agreed. It's way too much like Battlefield, and I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where I'll probably pick it up, but it won't be a day one for me.
Yeah, me too.
I guess Mirror's Edge Catalyst also looked interesting, but it looked like more Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, the environments look almost exactly the same.
This actually looks darker. Like Mirror's Edge was very bright.
Yeah,
and like
maybe that was a thing intentional because I know some people that I've talked to, they just said that it was way too bright. Like it was just they'd have to turn the brightness down.
Like you have like the first few levels are white, and then there's like green levels, and then there's red levels. You know, like
blue and yellow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like they're all really.
Like I said, they might have toned that down because a lot of people did complain that.
Apparently, they took out the shooting in that game.
Yeah, did.
Which that wasn't really.
The shooting was bad anyway.
Yeah.
It's like.
Like you can't. They
it's
said
better to just go up and just smack.
Yeah,
running.
Like they said that you can't even pick. You only had the option to pick up the weapons. So I mean that's all I have with EA.
Yep.
You guys want to mention anything else from them? Before grade.
Plants vs Zombies looked dumb.
Yeah. Like why are they playing Highway to the Danger Zone?
Highway.
Like I don't
Kenny
get it.
Loggins.
Yeah,
I give them an F.
An F.
EA.
Yes, EA. I gave them an F.
I'd say C-.
I was watching. Well, I wasn't watching it live. I watched it archived, so I skipped through half of it because every other game was a sports game.
I was about to say like majority of it was sports.
Their pacing, I didn't like the pacing of it. Yeah,
I wouldn't
the
give
way they grouped the stuff. I didn't like that.
I don't know if I would give them an F.
I wouldn't give them an F.
I
probably a D
because the thing
lowest I'd give them is like a D plus.
Like I think the for me the most most interesting thing was Unravel.
Mm-hmm.
The next most interesting thing was Mass Effect Andromeda, but like
they didn't show anything.
They didn't show anything. It was basically an announcement.
Andromeda.
So
okay,
that's why I give him an F.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't give him an F mainly because they actually finally showed some real Battlefront gameplay. And Andromeda, the teaser. I mean, yeah, it was just teaser. They didn't really show much, but we know that we have something about Mass Effect. And Unravel just looked really pretty. So I give them a D.
That's a trap.
It's a trap.
Ubisoft.
They actually showed quite a lot of stuff.
I suppose there are lots of people who would be really excited about the South Park game, since a lot of people really liked the Stick of Truth.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't care for it.
Don't care for it, so I didn't highlight it myself.
South Park, so.
It was a fun game. I enjoyed it. I haven't finished it yet, though. I need to do that. I got distracted with Dragon Age.
I think For Honor looked cool, but
Chivalry plus MOBA.
well,
I kind of like that idea.
I was thinking more War of Roses.
That's more, War of Roses is essentially a more serious chivalry.
Yeah.
But the difference with For Honor is that there are like those minions that run across.
Yeah.
So you have, it's 4v4, and then you have a bunch of little minions. So it's a MOBA.
It's like Super Monday Night Combat, but with swords.
The combat looks more like that of, a console action game than that of like, Chivalry or.
I didn't really get that. I got chivalry-ish.
Well, Chivalry,
because you had to, like, it was looking like they were, actually like focusing on blocking and dodging rather than just smashing buttons. Because if they were smashing buttons, then it would be a lot quicker battles than what they were showing.
Well, that's why I think it's more like an action game on console, like I don't know, I guess like the Souls games where you have like blocking and rolling and stuff like that. Looked like that to me, where you have a lot of blocking, and also it also seemed like the characters can lock onto other characters, which you can't really do in Chivalry.
Yeah,
you can go in, just start swinging in Chivalry and kill your teammates.
Yeah.
So
For Honor looks cool. I might pick it up. At least they are doing a beta for it. If they do a PC version, I'll definitely check
that out. Developer was hyped about it though.
Oh yeah, I know. He was like,
he came in with his walking stick, and I thought he was gonna beat somebody up with that stick.
Yeah.
He was hyped.
Yeah, he was like, it was almost like movie intro, like Lord of the Rings introduction.
He was like, did you ever want to beat the crap out of somebody? Because I do every minute of my life. So yeah, For Honor looked cool.
Yep. They showed not a lot, but they showed Division.
What did you think about Trials?
What was that Ghost Recon?
Oh.
Was that?
Yeah. That was the very end.
Wildlands. Wildlands.
That looks pretty neat.
I do like that one.
Yeah. That like I saw an article that was, I can't remember from where, like Polygon or Kotaku or something. They're like,
it's not even worth it.
They're like Ghost Recon Wildlands is like every Ubisoft game combined.
It is an open world game, so it's going to follow Ubisoft's open world formula, and it's going to be the exact same, but.
You have to climb towers.
It does look nice. Yeah,
unlock the map.
If they make you climb towers, I'm gonna be so upset.
Yeah, I'm really not interested in many Ubisoft games because like the only one I'm interested in is Rainbow Six.
Yeah, that was what I was going to go to next, but then you start talking about Ghost Recon.
Yeah, because I feel like their open world formula has grown tired.
What I'm very happy to see is that, or what they announced was that Ghost Recon. Sorry, not Ghost Recon. Rainbow Six Siege is going to have a campaign.
Yeah.
They mentioned that they got Angela Bassett. I guess because they needed to counter Kevin Spacey. They needed to get a big actor for their game. But they said there's going to be a campaign, which I am very happy because
which Rainbow Six hasn't had a.
Well, like up until now,
they've only been showing multiplayer.
They've only shown multiplayer, yeah. So I was kind of iffy on: is this going to be only a multiplayer game, or is there going to be the campaign and co-op?
Yeah,
they said
the Terror Hunt stuff is going to be solo or 4-player co-op.
They said Terror Hunt.
Terror Hunt.
Terrorist Hunt.
That's what they called it. Yeah. Terror Hunt.
Yeah. Phone was ringing, but oh well, it happens. Not
what
my phone.
What are you talking about?
Shh.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
I was very happy about what they said about Rainbow Six. Like we played Rainbow Six Siege, the alpha
with the alpha walls,
the alpha walls, the textures that say
said,
alpha.
They just straight up say alpha.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun, yeah.
I mean, like it was definitely alpha, but it was fun for what we played.
After
and
a couple rounds, I got pretty good.
And I'm excited for it. I'm happy for it.
Yeah, that one definitely looks good. They only showed a trailer for this, but Anno 2205. I'm pretty big on like the city building sims, and that one looked pretty cool because you actually eventually will be able to go to the moon and start building a colony there as well. Because like in the Anno 2070, you could go underwater and start building stuff underwater, but
BioShock.
Yeah.
What do you think about Trials?
I didn't see that.
Awesome level max.
I didn't see it.
It was a cat riding.
It was like a saber-toothed like cat riding a unicorn.
Unicorn, as it had like a golden gun, just shooting it, firing in the air.
And was it this game that had the unicorn that was breathing fire?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It was a
So
gun-wielding saber-tooth riding a fire-breathing unicorn.
Did it still have like motorcycle physics, but they just like model swap it and like animation swap it?
It was a cinematic trailer.
Oh,
Yeah, they didn't show any gameplay.
I literally do not care for cinematic trailers. Or
I just want to mention real quick the Division. The more I see of that game, the less interested I am of it.
Yep, agreed.
When they first announced it, I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" But like every time they show it, just like meh.
It's because every time they show it, they're like, they just do this horrible voice acting job.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah,
like,
They do that for
Alpha
all
3,
of their
go,
games.
go, go. It's like, that's not going to happen in real life.
Yeah, it's like, oh, these guys snuck up on us. Are they going to shoot us? Oh, they teaming up with us. Oh,
And then like it's so over dramatized. Like, is he going to betray us? Because like this guy was just like silent. So, like,
I wonder what kind of loot they have. There's 3 of us and 2 of them, so let's take their loot.
See, when I play online with like guys and mics and whatever, it's just like this guy over there, shoot him. You know.
Yeah.
So basically, what I got out of this is DayZ without the zombies.
Well, it's probably
Yeah.
going to be more complete than DayZ, so
Well, no, it's Ubisoft, so maybe not.
maybe not.
anything else from
gonna come as
Ubisoft
DLC.
before we grade it?
No, nothing else to talk about it.
I give it a C.
C-.
Probably C- for me as well.
Sure, C-. Sony.
Sony.
I
I think this is the easy.
There's no
easy
question
one.
about this.
hold on a second. Let me screen share real quick. Cause somebody hit the button. Somebody hit this button in case of emergency.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, they only showed like this cinematic teaser thing. Didn't even show anything except the very end. They
Somebody
showed-
hit all the buttons. They hit the button for Last Guardian.
Oh yeah, like people went crazy.
Okay, Last Guardian.
Okay. Yeah.
Last Guardian.
I know what you're gonna say.
It looks like a PS2 game.
I wouldn't say it looks like a PS2 game.
It was like a late
So-
PS2 game.
So they actually said that the reason why they're having so much like difficulty getting the game out is because they were like bumping up into the limits of the PS3. Like they said the frame rate was terrible.
The
like
frame rate looked terrible on that. Like the feathers looked hideous.
the feather, that wasn't frame rate though. That was like shadow, like lighting artifacts.
It still looked really bad.
It didn't look.
It looked.
It was.
I
I wanna-
didn't see how they were having trouble pushing the PS3 because there was
They're a much smaller team though.
yeah, but still, I mean, like the poly counts on a lot of those structures were really low. You could tell because a lot of things were just textures.
Yeah.
Aside from the graphics looking extremely unimpressive, the gameplay looked very boring. And this is coming from a person who likes platformers. I liked Eco. You know, this looked very boring. He's like, and then like the
Shoo,
Griffin finally, like the Griffin finally does something, and it just looked very slow and boring.
Well, wasn't Eco and Shadow of the Colossus were also a little slower. I mean, they weren't like high action games.
I would wait to play it before judging it because, as you said,
I'm just saying I was unimpressed.
Yeah. Apparently, the demo, behind. I don't know why they always show the better stuff behind the scenes, but the demo showed after the conference was a lot more impressive. I mean, that's from like Jeff Keighley and other big guys. Like, oh, it was really awesome. But
now, one thing I did think was cool: Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon, yes,
I think that was cool.
I completely agree. That I want that game.
Games. Yep, exactly. Even though it's spelled the other way. Anyway,
yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn looked amazing. I'm just going to say robot dinosaurs that actually looked unique and cool.
So the concept art that leaked out a while ago, like it was like, I was thinking if that was it, that would be awesome, and that was it. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
The premise. Like I had to like turn my brain off because the more I was thinking about it, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. This is stupid. But like it still seemed like a really cool game though.
Yeah, it looked like, like it was set in a older time period which had dinosaurs and humans existing, but then it was all like robot dinosaurs. So it was supposed to be seen as a post-apocalyptic game, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually
it's far in the future, but because of how bad things were, we were thrown back in technology to the point where it looks like
we became prehistoric, post-apocalyptic. I think someone said post-apocalyptic prehistoric or something like that. Yeah.
Well, like the premise is like, let's say, I don't know, either Terminator or Matrix or whatever, robots have taken over, but like they don't have like a hive mind or anything in this.
So see, what happened is they were opening Jurassic Park, so they had to make the dinosaurs out of robots because of animatronics. Exactly. But then like Skynet came in.
Freddy's, right?
Skynet came in and took over all the robots, and they destroyed the world. And so now this is what happened.
It's Five Nights at Jurassic Park. There you go.
I think it looked cool. Though.
Yeah, I agree.
They said that anywhere you could see in that game, you could go.
Oh, so like Zelda.
Is that how the new Zelda is?
Yeah.
Okay. You see that mountain over there?
Yeah, go to it. So, I like
the character look cool too.
So,
just
with a game like Grand Theft Auto, like you could see that you could go over there type thing isn't really impressive because you have like vehicles, you got ways of like easy transportation, but when it's you're limited to either your 2 feet or maybe let's say if they have horses, I don't know.
You'll be able to tame a dinosaur probably. Okay, I'm gonna guess that you'll be able to tame a dinosaur.
Here's one thing I didn't understand in Horizon Zero Dawn. Like the cannon fell off of the dinosaur. She picked it up and fired with it. Why would this cannon have like a trigger or whatever?
Speaking of which, why didn't the dinosaur use the weapon? It just kind of like was charging at her and didn't even fire its cannon.
Because it was a charging its laser. It was charging Malaysia.
So they showed Hitman, and I want to go more into that when we cover Square.
Okay.
Because they actually showed
more about it there.
Wait, they actually showed footage?
Kind of. Like they showed, like the one that they showed on Sony was a cinematic trailer, and the one that they showed on Square was like an in-game trailer.
Oh, I missed that.
It didn't actually show the game itself. It just showed it was in-game graphics, right?
Anyway, regarding that trailer, remember how I said I literally don't care about cinematic trailers or CG trailers?
Yes.
I still think that was a well-done trailer.
Yeah. Well, also the Dark Souls 3 one.
Bad name though. Hitman.
It's a reboot.
Street Fighter 5. I mean, they.
What you do, gun?
It
looks good.
They showed Cammy, Cammy's my jam. I play Cammy.
Cammy Jam.
Yep.
Yeah, you did used to play Cammy a lot.
Because she's fast.
Yeah.
Cammy's awesome. And they showed Birdie, who has transformed again. Because in the first game he was white. And then when they brought him back in Alpha, he turned black.
Maybe.
And now he's fat.
Maybe he's the leader of the NAACP.
Orange is the new black.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, not much to say about Street Fighter. I mean, Street Fighter.
Look
They
good.
showed some really nice No Man's Sky footage. Finally.
Oh yeah,
Finally.
yeah. They showed more instead of just a trailer. He actually
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, let's
They actually
do
did
something."
gameplay.
He's another one. He is kind of like that one. What was it called?
Unravel.
Unraveled, kind of awkward. I'm gonna show you this thing.
Well, you gotta keep in mind he's in front of thousands of
Yeah.
people, and like that can get to people's heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he teleported, and he was like, "Okay, cool." Just like I started laughing. He's like, "Cool." Yeah, I was like, "Okay."
Well, the game looks really nice, and I'm glad that they finally showed
I'm still
gameplay.
confused about that game though, because they're like the goal is to reach the center of the galaxy or the universe or whatever. All right, and then but he also was like when he first started showing the footage, like here's a war going on. You could choose either side and fight along. It's like, okay, what's the point of the war if the goal
it's just a giant open universe to do whatever you want.
It doesn't make sense.
It's not supposed to make sense.
It's you know how like
That's how space sims are.
you know Eve Online. Just do whatever you want. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I
Star Citizen
feel
is
like-
similar. Elite Dangerous is similar.
I honestly feel like people need to bring their expectations down a little bit for this game because 10-man team, is that what you said? 10 people on the team?
Is it 10?
I
Because it
think-
originated with like 4.
I think you said 10-man team.
Yeah, they started
And-
with like 4.
yeah.
So.
And like I think people are expecting a lot more out of this than what it actually is.
I don't necessarily know because everything that they're talking about, everything that they're showing pretty much seems to be on par. But again, I mean, a lot of games do that. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm excited for it, but I understand that it might not turn out to be
Everything
exactly-
they're saying, I'm going to expect.
Yeah.
So I'm going to expect a bunch of like seeded, randomized
Yeah.
planets
Destructible.
and like vegetation
Well, yeah.
and creatures and leveling up stuff and like buying things. That's what I'm going to expect.
Yeah. And my biggest concern with that game though is just the scale. Like I understand that it's all being randomly generated, but even though random generation is really nice because you can get a wide variety of things, there is the inherent problem that you'll start to see the same things over and over and over again because it'll just start seeding, the same things in.
Or not necessarily same, but similar things.
Yeah, very similar. And like, you might run into planets which have the exact same stuff that you've already explored. And that's understandable, but
So, I mean, they've explicitly said that it's going to be every single one is going to be unique.
yeah, every planet is randomly generated, but I'm just
the problem
afraid
is just
of how
having not
extended.
enough
Oh, like he
How
did.
extensive-
unique parameters.
There were things that he did on there, like I'm gonna scan the environment and then I'm gonna send this data to whatever. Like I don't understand what was.
So when
Like
you,
if the goal is to get to the center of the universe, and
Well, you have to
what's all
craft
this
the
other
you-
stuff?
you
you-
have to you can't just like fly to the center of the universe because you'll get shot down. You'll like
I'm gonna do it.
I'm assuming it gets more difficult as
yeah,
you get closer to the center.
As you get closer to the center of the universe, like they said, like planets are more hostile, like the environments are more hostile. You need stronger weapons, a better suit, a better ship, that sort of thing. Because ships could go faster, better hyperdrive.
Stronger, more weapons.
Yeah.
So basically,
like,
you gotta get girl long enough to get past the moon.
yes, exactly.
and then you.
I don't think they've ever reached Pluto. Maybe they did. But anyway, so like the whole upload thing is when you die, like you lose your progress except for what you have uploaded. That is essentially like,
saving.
yeah, that is your saving. But if you like, I don't know. It's yeah.
All right. Let's
So,
move on. Let's
anyway.
move on. So this isn't something that I'm interested in myself, but I know a billion people are, or 500,000. It's Final Fantasy VII
Oh,
remake.
Oh, you skipped quite a bit.
yeah, you did skip quite a
Well, like if you guys want to cover something else.
I thought Dreams looked interesting.
I was about to talk
What was
about
Dreams?
Dreams. It was that like where
The
he was
Media Molecule
3D
one.
sculpting.
Oh, I
and-
didn't highlight that because I'm like, this doesn't even.
I was
look like
about
a
to
game.
say I did not understand that trailer at all. That was like the most trippy, psychedelic, confusing
to
thing
me,
I've ever seen.
I think it's like their, I don't know, I guess like source filmmaker.
I think the game is
I don't think
a
it's an
social
actual game.
experiment.
Yeah.
I
Like
don't
trying
think,
to blend things together and like have it all.
I think it's something to make videos. I don't think it's a game.
Well, it's not actually. It's all real. I mean, they don't like process things into a video though. Like it's all like real time. Like
But
yeah.
you can move the camera around, okay, but I don't think it's a game.
Yeah, I mean, so it's still like
It's an experience.
a creation tool, you know.
To make videos.
Hmm.
I don't think it's a
yeah.
game.
Apparently it doesn't use any rasterizers at all for its rendering.
Really?
It's 100% compute.
Interesting.
You guys got something else?
They
Firewatch?
Showed, Firewatch. They showed
Oh, that
more
looked
trailer.
neat.
I'm
Looked
actually
neat.
really excited for that game. I've been
It
following
seems
that
like,
game for a while.
apparently it's like an adventure game.
Yeah, so the premise
Adventure.
is you
Thriller, not necessarily like horror, but just like sort of like a mystery type thing.
yeah, it's supposed to be similar to like in gameplay to like Amnesia, Gone Home, those style of games. Ether One. But yeah, I've been following that game.
Walk around, figure stuff out.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I
Seems
listened to a podcast that has actually a couple of the developers on there as hosts.
There's no developers in this podcast for that game. What are you trying to say here, Kevin?
Nothing.
Yeah, they went.
Advocacy News is the only podcast to be worth listening to.
They went on several different shows and talked about it. So
Yeah.
it seems
Well,
interesting.
Idle Thumbs is actually the one I was talking about.
Oh.
Two of the hosts on there are developers of Firewatch,
Oh, okay.
so they talk about it quite often. So I'm pretty excited for it.
So Firewatch after that was Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
not just Final Fantasy VII. They also
There's
showed
a-
World of Final Fantasy, which just looks
the
weird.
the chibi.
Forget World.
It looks like little
That-
pop
so
final figures
so
as the characters.
I think what the idea is, you have like chibi characters, and then like
Yeah.
you could toggle them for different effects.
I totally
I don't really care.
don't.
Yeah, that's
It
essentially what I
looks
got.
Stupid. It looks like
So-
a mobile game. or at least when they're in the chibi mode, it looks
Yeah.
like a mobile game.
Anyway,
Final Fantasy VII
Final Fantasy
remake.
VII.
I am
remake.
glad they are doing this. So now people can finally play it and realize how overrated this game is.
It's still a good game. It's overrated, yes, but it's still a good game.
They did say that they're going to make both gameplay and plot changes. So I am assuming, because they said they're going to make some changes to plot, I'm assuming they are going to fill those plot holes, because there
Probably.
were tons
There were a
and
lot.
tons and tons of plot holes. And that's one reason why I think that game's so overrated. It's not as good as what people make it out to be.
Yeah,
A lot of people like. Well, I have a friend who likes 6 the best.
6 is really good.
6
I had-
was amazing.
The only Final Fantasy game I have ever
The-
touched is 7,
The,
and I've only played like 5 or 6 hours of it.
the best Final Fantasy game is Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't argue with that.
But I mean, like, anyway, Final Fantasy VII. I think. I mean, it's just a CGI trailer, but considering what Final Fantasy 15 looks like so far,
Yeah, I was about to say if they
I
can
think it's
make
going to
it
look awesome.
If they make it look that good, that'd be pretty cool.
and I am assuming it'll eventually come to PC, and I wonder what type of graphics they'll push on PC, because they seem to be like, their engine seems to be really powerful. So I think it might be really awesome. I'm pretty excited.
And the other big announcement they had,
Shenmue 3.
Shamu 3.
Shamu 3.
Yeah, it's on Kickstarter.
Save Shamu.
Yep.
Hashtag
Passed
save
its
Shamu.
Kickstarter goal in like less than 20 hours.
It
I
is the fastest funded
it-
video game on Kickstarter.
It passed 1 million in 2 hours. It passed 2 million in like 7 hours something.
Oh wow. Okay, so a lot less than 20 hours.
Yeah.
It was like, as far as the rate of what it had the fastest rate
Yeah.
for
I think,
any
like,
video
when they
game
announced it,
software.
Between the time that they announced
Kickstarter died when they announced it, because I actually went to the page and it was
didn't load.
Like for minutes, it wasn't loading.
Like between the time that they announced that they were going on Kickstarter and the time that I actually looked at the Kickstarter, it already raised like $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's fast.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, I will admit I haven't played any of the Shenmue games. Maybe this is the time
I played
for me
the
to
first
pick them up.
one. I didn't play through the whole thing because like I was knocking on everyone's door, and then it became nighttime, and then people started yelling at me to go home, and I was like, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do. This is and like the loading times and everything. I was like, like
Power of the Dreamcast.
Yeah, Dreamcast. So
it would be kind of cool if they included like.
So here's what they're gonna do, because they already reached the stretch goal for this. What they're gonna do is they're gonna include a movie for Shenmue 1 and 2, because what Shenmue 2 did, because Shenmue 2 came out in America, it came out only on Xbox.
Yeah.
It did not come out on the Dreamcast. It did in Europe, but not in America. So Shenmue 2 came out on Xbox, and because it was on a completely different console, it had another disc that was Shenmue the movie. So basically, they made a movie out of the game, like with the in-game assets and the cutscenes and stuff like that.
So the people who
they basically, well, it was part of Shenmue 2 for Xbox.
I see.
Like it was a second disc.
This to like fill people in essentially.
Yeah, so it was basically the first game without the gameplay.
Okay.
Like it was just the story elements of it.
Metal Gear.
Just so people would know what's up. So this Shenmue 3, they already reached the stretch goal to include the Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 animation, like it says short film or something like that.
Well,
so I don't know if it's gonna be the same one for Shenmue 1, or if they're gonna make a brand new one with this new engine, or I don't know.
Well, that's good, because I actually started the project on Kickstarter so that I remembered to back it if I wanted to, and I might. So that was one thing that I was kind of worried about. Like,
also Sony has announced that they are
finally funding the game.
Yeah, they're not only helping fund, but they're also going to help develop as well.
Yeah.
So this is not coming out.
They probably were like, I don't know if we want to help you, but go ahead and announce it.
I'm
realize
how
excited people were.
They said the Kickstarter helped gauge.
Yeah, like the same thing with like Igarashi and his Castlevania game.
Yeah,
like he straight up said in his Kickstarter, I have funders who will help fund the game, but this Kickstarter is to show how much interest there is.
Yeah. Because if people aren't willing to put money into it, then what's the point in making?
Yeah. Right.
Because that money is essentially going to be, people putting that money in is to buy it.
Yeah.
They
showed some stuff about Project Morpheus. What was it? Like they showed one called Riggs, which was like a 3 versus 3 MOBA, which
not MOBA.
Battle Arena is what they called it.
It's like I don't think there's a MOBA aspect to it. It's just a shooter.
They just called it Battle Arena. So.
Because the idea is like it's kind of like not only like shooting each other, but it's kind of like a sport. You have to get yourself to like a goal.
I see.
So that's why they call it an arena. But it seems interesting. I mean, Studio Guerrilla Cambridge, they're they made Killzone Mercenaries, which I thought was an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I would it's neat to see like a first person shooter on VR. Like a lot of you're getting to that more tangible type game as opposed to just like a demo where you sit in one spot or whatever. This is like a demo that's supposed to be, or like a game that's very mobile, shooting and that sort of thing. So
I mean, there's been they tend to do a lot of those sit down demos at shows, but there's already a lot of games. Like, I mean, Elite Dangerous, Project Cars, Star Citizen, like, all these big names are building their games specifically to be working with. I mean,
those are all sitting in like cockpits, though. Something that goes for the most part forward and backward.
Yeah.
Well, this is this includes a lot of strafing and jumping. So
well, I mean, the movements kind of translate similar because you can do similar kind of movements with a ship too. But maybe one thing I'd like to see is more games that are the thing that's weird is that there seems to be a lot of games that are third person coming out for VR. But that's probably a discussion.
I honestly don't even remember this at all. It's not even in my notes.
No.
I don't. When did they show that?
The Morpheus section was very short.
Yeah.
So this was like, they flashed up a bunch of titles and like, oh man, we're making rigs, and it's like,
Oh.
Yeah, it was like a 3-minute thing.
It looks pretty neat though.
They showed
I thought I was kind of upset about the Batman thing because they said Scarecrow missions are exclusive for PlayStation 4.
Like, man, that's dumb.
That is dumb.
yeah.
I hopefully it's timed exclusive because that looks really. That
It'll come out as
thing
DLC for every other platform.
The thing is, usually DLC or like platform, exclusive content is usually garbage.
yeah.
Like
it looked really cool though.
But it did look cool. That's the thing. Like it was actually really interesting. Like
yeah.
I was like, huh.
The cop going crazy, and I was expecting like it to switch back from his hallucination, and he's like shooting people.
Innocent people. Yeah, that's what I was expecting as well.
I think a lot of people got that implication though, without having to explicitly show it.
Yeah.
PlayStation View.
Oh yeah, that piecemeal thing, the whole a la carte.
Oh yeah.
Channel that seems pretty interesting, and
Yeah.
whenever they announce it for the rest of either US or whatever, I'll probably look into it, at least look at the prices, because I don't know anything about the prices.
Discounted rates for PlayStation Plus members.
Yeah.
I got only one more thing on here, Uncharted 4.
I have one after that, but we can talk about Uncharted 4 first.
They closed. They closed with.
Well,
Uncharted
it was earlier on, but we kind of skipped it.
Oh,
what is it?
It was a small game by Revolver Digital called Eater, I think. EITR.
Oh yeah,
I think that looks amazing. It's
that's
like
been shown several times before. It looks pretty neat.
I just for the Devolver Digital, I just like listed off all the games. I don't even remember which one's which.
I just put like Ronin, Eater, and then
Eater's the one where it had that like girl with a shield and a sword, right? And
yeah, it's like an isometric pixel art
isometric
game, and it's really cool because I mean like
looks kind of like a Souls type like dodge and swipe type thing.
Yeah,
but that looks really good. And then also I thought what was it called?
Ronin.
No, what's the game? I think Mother Russia Bleeds.
Oh, I don't
that like beat 'em up game looked pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean Eater looks really cool. I'm excited for that because I like the pixel art. I like the lighting. I like the style.
There you go. Anyway, so last thing about Sony Uncharted 4. I think. Well, yeah, at least you know that the demo was real time.
Yeah.
They ran into issues for the first few minutes.
Like
had to restart the demo.
Controller was not connected,
like, synced up or something. I don't know. He's just like,
man. Somebody put up on like r/gaming. Like the moment when Nathan Drake stopped
caring or something.
Yeah, stopped giving an F.
Just like
he was just like saying that like ready to do something, but
Sully was swole though. He was hitting the gym because you see him take everybody out.
It's because he used Just for Men. Did you see his mustache? It was like a nice brown color. And his hair looked a little darker. Come on, Nate.
Man, Sully is like he's like Sam Fisher.
He does not skip out on any day.
Sam Fisher gets younger in every game. So does Sully.
Yeah.
Well,
but like that looked awesome.
It did.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting like I know they like the initial like demo they showed the first time, like they showed all these different like platforms you could jump to and this and that, and it's like, okay, they're making the the way you could approach these areas different as opposed to like Uncharted 2 and 3. It's just kind of just shuffled into a room and then you kind of clear it out and move on.
Like that. So that chase segment was not.
Everything was so
crazy,
fluid and dynamic that it just felt like you were watching a movie.
Yeah,
and it didn't even feel like a scripted game. It just felt so dynamic and so seamless and
like you could see all of the there were so many paths you could have went. It was awesome. And like when they started driving on top of the roofs, I was like, "What is this? The ending of Bad Boys 2?"
You're not the only person that made that reference, by the way. Anyway, but yeah, it looked really good, and I mean, like artistically, like that, you know, their art style hasn't changed, but
Yeah.
like they just keep adding in more and more detail into these type of like things. It looks really good,
I love it.
you know, and I don't know, just like going when they took the Jeep, like driving through everything, like everything was physics props everywhere. It's just like
that.
Oh yay!
That is what you show off to get people to want to play, to buy your hardware. Like that makes me want to get a PS4.
Yeah.
Like them like Microsoft showing Gears 4, like that's like, okay, that looks dumb.
Yeah.
They didn't even like do a good job with Halo 5, which is kind of like their staple series. It used to be
what they showed with Halo looked like I've seen this before 200 times.
I've seen this before.
You know, like with Uncharted, like they are. It still looks like Uncharted, but like
you haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
It was like it seemed like an open world, but still it had its whole.
It was like cohesive.
You're riding a roller coaster.
And it was guided, but not like on rails guided.
Yeah. And I am excited for that game.
And like that whole truck like going around like busting through walls. Just like,
and just the fact that like there were so many people there too, and they all reacted to what was happening. Like when they started firing, everyone was like screaming and yelling and running away. And then when you're driving through, when he was driving through that,
moving out of the
way, and he was like, "Move out the way!" And like I was saying about dynamic dialogue, everything that Sully was saying was kind of like in tune to what you were doing. Like, you know, if you were like jumping off a cliff, he was like, "Whoa!" Like you didn't have to do that.
Like, and he's like, "I got this. I don't got this."
Like the whole like the truck thing chasing him.
Yeah.
Like it was like the battle tank in Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
Times 1,000.
Yeah.
It was
because 2 was like just limited to like a small village.
Yeah.
So
and
like
the tank,
I mean, it was slower. It was cool. It was busting through walls and stuff like that.
It was awesome.
But this was like a high speed chase.
Yeah.
Like, and
vehicles.
And the thing is,
and then it came back at the end.
Yeah. And like, well, I mean, I knew that was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to come from that side. It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
but they might adjust that later. Who knows? But like, you know, that whole village thing, that was really awesome. Like, you know, because you're in this like village with like a lot of detail and things getting knocked over. But like this, you know, you're in a much bigger area, going at a much higher pace.
Yeah.
With still that density of detail.
The adrenaline rush is so much in that.
And
like I was feeling I was there playing the game, even though I wasn't.
You saw the voice acting.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Overall, A.
Oh yeah, this was easy A.
Easy A. I mean, there were other years that I wanted, you know, like you want to give a company an A, but you're like, but this, like, even though they didn't announce like many exclusives or whatever, you know, like Horizon was really good.
I was expecting Nathan Drake to come out at the end riding Sweet Tooth's truck, wielding the blades of Olympus.
Oh, that'd be amazing. One big mashup.
There you go. Well, but I mean, it's really good though. I mean, they finally
need Kevin Butler to come back.
They finally showed the Last Guardian. Horizon was great. Final Fantasy VII. People have been wanting that for a decade.
Yeah.
Shenmue 3, the same thing. You know, like, you know, this like a lot of it's playing on nostalgia, but I think they're kind of showing that, hey, we're listening and we want to make these, you know, experiences that you guys want a reality.
Yeah.
So
side note, from Microsoft, Kinect is dead, and from Sony, Vita's dead.
They showed Vita stuff though.
They showed like a glimpse of a Vita.
But like, oh, I mean, that's more than Microsoft. Microsoft did not show anything Kinect at all.
They did show something at
like
Ubisoft, the Just Dance stuff, but
like World of Final Fantasy, that's apparently coming to Vita. They said
like, somebody on Reddit showed a picture of their Vita. It's all covered in dust, except they like drew a smiley, a frowning face.
That's an old picture. That's a very old picture. Anyway.
They did show at the Sony event some more Battlefront stuff, but they actually showed like wave-based fighting clones. I thought that was kind of cool. Like it was much more interesting than the multiplayer stuff that they showed at the EA. Yeah. I just wanted to mention that because I thought that looked pretty cool.
Call of Titanfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Like I like tuned out of that. I was just like,
all right.
anyway.
Nintendo. So Nintendo didn't have a press conference. They had like a pre-recorded,
the same thing as last year.
yeah, like
digital
Nintendo
event.
Direct,
Directly
with puppets. Like it started off with puppets. I'm like, what
Oh yeah, that was
am I
a
watching?
little weird. But it actually was.
How old am I?
Nintendo 62, Nintendo 63, Nintendo 64. My puppet body is ready.
I find it humorous that they made Miyamoto's puppet like 20 years old or something like that when he's the oldest out of the three of them.
Is he?
He's like 60 something.
How old's Miyamoto? In his 50s?
I just said he's in 60 something.
No, I said Miyamoto.
Miyamoto.
Oh, I thought you said Iwata.
No, I said
My bad.
Miyamoto.
Oh,
He's 60 something. Miyamoto's old.
yeah.
That was interesting though how they like had the puppets transform into Star Fox characters. It's a little strange, but
They didn't even mention that Star Fox Zero is like being like co-developed with Platinum. Like they didn't say that in the video at all. It's on the website.
Like people found that out
because Platinum was making that new Transformers
No, they
game.
found out beforehand. Like the website launched before.
Oh, okay.
You even posted about it.
Oh, I thought that was a fake website.
No, that's a real website.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, like, they didn't say anything about Platinum. The things I did find interesting about Nintendo's video. Yeah, with the hands. The listeners
Direct.
cannot see that. Okay, so
I'm just gesturing to
the
you.
things that I found interesting had nothing to do with announcements. It was more from a game design aspect with when Miyamoto would explain why he did certain things. It was more of a game design lesson that I found interesting than the actual announcements and things that they had to show off.
Two things I thought that were neat. Yoshi's what was it?
Woolly World. I did not care
World.
about that.
It looks like
watching
Yoshi's
that.
Island. I mean, I like Yoshi's Island.
I'm not gonna lie, I got through like part of the Nintendo stuff and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop watching right now. I'm not.
And then Star Fox.
I started
Fox
fast
was
forwarding
cool.
through the Yoshi part.
One thing I don't like about Star Fox though is like they have the aiming. I mean, you could change the controls like in like the aiming method, but like the default aiming is you control the ship with analog, but then like the aiming is with the gamepad.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you're flying up and you just like
Yeah, I noticed one part of the video where like the ship was stationary, but the reticle was
just,
just
like,
moving
yeah.
around.
I mean, it's kind of interesting though that like how they're doing it too.
it
'Cause,
looks
like
neat.
you've got first person cockpit view in the gamepad screen, and then you've got like the third person view on the TV.
just seems convoluted,
Well,
in my opinion.
when I was
My
watching it,
It's weird that they're putting that much. I mean, they should have done something different. Like this gamepad should have been like an overview map so you can see where all the enemies are, or like what they usually do with the gamepad.
well,
map of
when I
some
was
sort.
watching this, I did think it looked like a fun game.
It does.
But at the same time, it wasn't like Uncharted 4 where it made me say, "Hey, I got to buy that hardware."
Like
This was like
I
this
saw
would be
that,
a
I was
fun
like-
game to
I was
play.
like,
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, remember how awesome Star Fox 64 was? This is it. But the thing is, like, you know, I'm okay with not owning Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
A huge issue I had with the whole direct, the Nintendo Direct as a whole, was that they would show things twice. Like they would show a trailer for something, and then like Zelda, and then they show it again with Miyamoto talking over it, or vice versa. They would show Miyamoto talking with like the trailer in the background, and then they show the trailer again. Oh, sorry.
Keep hitting my mic.
So I had a huge issue with them just showing things twice. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you guys
Gotta
doing?
get that filler, yo.
Yeah. Like they don't have.
How about that Metroid game?
I was
though?
just about to say that.
people are angry about that.
How about that? How about that Metroid?
Oh, hold on. I got a screen share. I got to screen share this. Where is it? Here we go. Screen share. Let me make that a little bigger. He's like, I got 3 new games. That's Super Mario. Zelda says, I got 2 new games. Fire Emblem. I got a new game and a crossover. Metroid. I got a rock. It's the whole the Peanuts.
Peanuts,
Kids dressed as ghosts.
Yeah.
I got a rock.
Yeah. Wow. Like
First-person shooter on 3DS. That's all you need to know. Kind of
it's-
dumb.
Oh, plus they have
it's
that
level-based.
the soccer game too.
What is it?
Yeah, with the speedball.
It's
I forget what it's called.
you got Metroid Prime Federation Force and Metroid Prime
That's right.
Blast Ball.
Blast Ball.
Blast
That's
Ball,
what it is.
yeah.
Blast Ball is like I've seen this game like 200 times on PC where you play or PS3 or whatever, like where you play a car and you push a ball into the goal. Like this is the same thing, except instead of being a car, you're a Metroid.
Gotta
and you're shooting the ball. Like it's
Yep.
the community will not last. Like you're gonna have like 6 people playing online on this game.
besides Metroid, what about that Amiibo Animal Crossing? So
Just Amiibo
I fast
all the
forwarded-
things.
I seriously fast forwarded
so
that. I
so
didn't even
that
watch
Animal Crossing is actually a free game,
it. And then
but you need to have Amiibos to play it.
wow. When I saw Animal Crossing, I started fast forwarding.
Directly my hands into your pocket. Take all your money. Directly to you.
They were okay.
Directly from you to me.
Directly from you to
Nintendo
me.
was lacking. Nintendo was lacking so much stuff that they put this trailer of this like kawaii, like anime, kawaii anime stuff. I didn't even know what it was. Like it's in my notes. You can see in my notes right there. It says something FE. That's why I wrote when watching it. And then later on, I learned that it was Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei because the trailer itself didn't tell me what it was.
It was just like
And
a bunch of like
it was a bunch of
anime.
and then it said like it was like something in Japanese and it says FE. So I just wrote that down, something FE. And then I later learn from like IGN or something that it's Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei. It's like, what is this? It's like a bunch of anime teens changing clothes, riding motorcycles and horses and stuff.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
I didn't even get to that part. I kind of stopped after the Metroid
it was
Prime
like
stuff.
as if Nintendo had so few things to show off that they're like, we'll show this completely Japanese trailer.
Apparently Nintendo they didn't seem to have any third-party games announced.
They didn't have any Wii U games, really.
Yeah, third-party Wii U games. And I think
What was that? The Yokai Watch, the level 5 game.
Oh.
They had Yokai Watch. It's made by Level 5.
Oh.
From what I when I was watching this, I was like, this is Pokemon. But from what I learned later on, outside of that Nintendo Direct, is that Yokai is like an anime, an actual anime that's going on right now, and it is similar to Pokemon, except it uses like mythological demons and stuff like that. That from actual mythology rather than just Pokemon. But I mean, the only things I have highlighted on my notes, Star Fox Zero looked fun.
Mhm.
Mario and Luigi Paper Jam looks interesting.
Yeah.
Which they cross over the Paper Mario and
Mario and Luigi.
the Mario Luigi Superstars. Is that what it's called?
Mhm.
Yeah. And Super Mario Maker looked awesome.
Super Mario Maker does look good. And I feel like that's something I would spend time on.
Like, I really like the fact that first of all, they added it's more than just Mario Bros 1 and New Mario Bros. Now they added Mario Bros 3 and Mario World. And I think it's really cool that they retroactively added in the newer like creatures and stuff like that, the newer enemies into the older games.
Yeah.
Like, there are no bob-ombs in the first Mario Bros.
Yeah.
But they redid the sprites for that game and stuff like that.
I like that. I watched their Treehouse video or whatever, and I watched that segment. It was pretty cool.
Unfortunately, that was the best thing that they showed. It was something that we already knew about. Yeah, they showed more stuff, but we already knew about it. And
I wanted to see Zelda, and I know they said they weren't going to show Zelda this E3.
Oh, they showed you Zelda.
Not what we wanted.
They showed you Zelda Triforce Heroes and Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Not what we wanted. I never asked for this.
What? All right. What? Do you guys have anything else from Nintendo before we grade?
Nope.
What would you guys grade it?
I don't want to be mean and give him a D, so I'll give him a C.
I'm just gonna say D.
Oh man, you guys are being generous. I put down F. I gave them an F.
Their whole prospects of the Wii U are just there are no prospects.
Yeah, they showed so much 3DS stuff and barely any Wii U stuff.
They showed Mario Maker.
Well, the only thing that they showed off new that anyone cares about is Star Fox Zero.
Yeah.
Everything else that they showed off new made people angry, like the Metroid Prime games.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and even Star Fox, people are upset that there's no multiplayer.
Yeah, there's no
it's only single player.
Mm-hmm. Even Star Fox 64 had multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
As simple as it was still multiplayer. Anyway,
they're going backwards in time.
This just goes back to Nintendo not. Yeah.
They're not being focused.
Yeah, they're not focused. They don't realize the importance of multiplayer, having an online community. Focus. I need you to focus on multiplayer. Okay, it's like Nintendo's like, okay, we have Splatoon, check. We got our bases covered with multiplayer.
Yeah.
They're out of touch, man. Like just today, Reggie said that VR is he didn't say boring, but he essentially said it wasn't
not
worthwhile.
Wow.
He probably was like, we already have a VR for you.
Yeah. He said what technology there is for it now. It's not good.
He pulled up a Don Matrix.
He said
you don't have online? We have a console for you. It's called the 360.
Yeah, there you go. He said it's not social. It's not this and that. It's like, bruh, social. Where's all the multiplayer games at? Where's online functionality? But instead, you could but no, they got that all covered with Splatoon. They have the multiplayer and then people drawing really weird pictures of squid people.
Yep.
On the what was it called? Miiverse.
Yeah, like borderline adult content. Like they're drawing it just mild enough for it to not get taken down.
Yeah,
it's quite suggestive. They're quite suggestive.
Yes.
Anyway,
Square Enix.
That was pretty good. I missed the Hitman thing though, but So you said it was like an engine, but not like actual gameplay.
Yeah, they explained a lot of it too, but from what it sounds like an MMO game.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. They said it'll constantly grow and
there's gonna be there's gonna be changes in the world, and there's gonna be certain hits during certain times, and you challenge your friends, and the biggest world ever. It sounds like everything that I don't want from a Hitman game. Yeah. If they called this something else, if they wanted to stay within the Hitman universe and just make it not Agent 47, you're part of that. You create a character and you're
Agent
part of that.
48.
Yeah, sure.
Agent 007.
Agent 0047.
If they wanted to make this Hitman's spin-off, then it would be maybe a little bit more interesting. But like, I don't find the concept interesting for one, and two, like
I liked Hitman Absolution. Just make a Hitman Absolution, but better.
Hitman Absolution 2.
like I don't want this to have a Hitman game, you know, and why they call it just Hitman? It's such a bad name. Hitman.
Resolution.
Exactly. Hitman. Ab solution. Get your
work on your
crunches.
Don't skip out on core day.
Nier New Project, the new Nier game.
Oh,
Um,
I mean, there is like a really close following for Nier. I've never played it.
I
don't know anything about it.
I watched a Giant Bomb quick look on Nier back when it came out, and we know, like those who are familiar with Giant Bomb know that quick look is not very quick.
Yes.
So
like an hour long.
Yeah, so I watched like a good hour or so of Nier, and it looked neat, you know, back when, but it also looked like it had a lot of issues to it. This has me interested mainly because of who they have working on it.
Is it the dude in that mask?
Yes, it was obviously the mask that had me. No, that wasn't for Nier, was it?
Yeah, it was.
It was. Okay,
Yeah, that was for
all right.
Nier. Yeah,
Okay,
because
but-
it was like video games, and that guy's
the
like,
guy with the creepy face.
It's like, huh?
But
So it's more like
they have
Yeah.
'cause his
Yeah,
voice
it's
was
really
muffled.
Yeah.
they have Platinum Games. They have the director of like Metal Gear Rising or Vengeance. You know, they have quite a few people.
They seem like they're quite invested in it.
Yeah, they have quite a few like
Big
you know,
names, big hitters.
Japanese developers working on this. So that is mainly why I'm interested in this. Not because of Nier or Drakengard, or it's part of the Drakengard series. I never played any of those games, but
Yeah, I wasn't even really familiar with them at all. So
yeah.
You hungry again?
a little bit.
You think you're hungry?
I know.
Deus Ex looked good.
Yeah, that one looked really good.
Deus
I
Ex
mean-
did look good.
I mean, like graphically, it was really good. I mean, what they showed, gameplay wise, though, I mean, I feel like they probably could have showed a better demo, but whatever.
But they showed gameplay during Square Enix, because I know they showed gameplay during the PC.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what the one that was. Yeah, I watched a bunch of them, so
It's all a blur.
it's all a blur. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, looks good. I'll play it. I really liked the last Deus Ex, so I'll play this one.
Yeah.
Just Cause.
Just Cause 3 looked really good.
Looks. I'm going to get that. I'm gonna get that day one.
Day one?
Day one. I'm gonna get that day one. Because I'm gonna try to get like the day one, like the pre-order bonus from Best Buy. I'm gonna try to do not like the DLC bonus, but like they like do like 20% off or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think some games have like a $10 gift card, so I'm gonna do that. So.
I wish I had a good phone, because I was never able to play Hitman Go. I gotta put that
Hitman Go
pause,
is really cool.
because if you say that too fast,
Hitman Go.
Hitman Go,
Hitman Go.
hit papaya.
Hit papaya. Papaya. Papaya.
So
Papaya.
yeah, Lara Croft Go would be appealing to me if I had a good enough phone.
I'm only about halfway through Hitman Go. It gets very difficult, and I like it. I like it's a really good puzzle game. So I imagine Lara Croft Go will be, of similar quality. It's a different art style, but it's like the same type of like move one spot per like turn. So I'll have to get that at some point in time.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it.
You didn't see Kingdom Hearts 3?
I didn't care about Kingdom Hearts 3.
I think that actually looks really good.
I didn't care.
I don't know, because like I don't know, the combat looks really solid, and like the art style and just I don't like the level design. I just think it looks.
What about that Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key?
Did you see in the conference, like they're like Kingdom Hearts, and the guy was like, yeah, and then it was Unchained Key,
and then the guy was quiet after that,
and then after that they showed Kingdom Hearts, the actual Kingdom Hearts 3, and he was like, yeah. What do you think of Kingdom Hearts 3?
It looks interesting. I haven't played any of the other previous ones. Actually, I played half of the first one, and I never really was hooked into it. So
I'll probably pick it up some point in time. I like a good action RPG.
I mean, I'd like to play them because I hear good things about them.
Yeah.
But I just never invested enough time to get, any interest in them, really.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of the setting, to be honest. But the gameplay is good.
Yeah.
The whole.
I'm surprised it didn't show...
the whole Square and Disney mashup. I don't really care for it.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't put any Star Wars at all.
I'm glad they didn't.
They did in Disney Infinity.
I was the complete opposite of you. Like, I thought the idea of Kingdom Hearts was really cool until I was watching my ex-roommate play the game. I was like, this gameplay looks so boring.
I like action RPGs, so
yeah,
I do too.
It's better than turn-based.
Anything else? Anything else from Square Enix?
No, I think that's it.
Star Ocean.
Yeah, that was another one.
I really want Just Cause 3.
Project Setsuna.
Tokyo RPG or whatever. Project Tokyo RPG.
Tokyo RPG Factory.
Oh, yeah. Tokyo RPG Factory. That's what it was. It's like a generic.
We are the American RPG studio.
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right, what would you guys rate Square Enix?
I'd probably give them a B.
A B minus, I think.
Oh.
Mainly because of Just Cause, and
Just Cause looks awesome.
And
Kingdom Hearts 3 looks good. Deus Ex looks pretty great.
Yeah, they showed.
I really like how Square Enix seems to be they're picking up the slack. Like they seem like they've been out of the game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when people thought of Square, they thought of just like Final Fantasy, and when they thought of Final Fantasy, it's like, oh, there hasn't been a new one in a while.
There hasn't been a good one in a while.
Yeah, a new good one in a while. So, but it seems like they're getting their Western development on point. They seem to be focusing their Japanese developers a lot more. So they're still able to get those very Eastern influenced games, but in a much higher quality, and I like that.
Yeah,
I'll give him a B as well. The final show.
Please don't say that PC Gamer thing.
The PC Gamer show.
That was so bad.
It was way too long.
Like,
pacing was not very
that
good.
Format was
2.5 hours.
No, okay. I will say I did prefer the interview format mainly because it wasn't filled with PR stuff, except for a couple of things.
The pacing was a result of that format.
They still could have done a much better job with it. They still could have done a so much better job with it, especially
it's much easier or it's much faster to have one or two people come up, introduce the game, show the game, move on, next person or people show the next.
I will say though that it was boring, it was long, but they did have some pretty good announcements.
Like half of the show was like Bohemian interactive games.
I liked your message to me last night. It was like what Bohemian Interactive presented by Bohemia Interactive about Bohemia Interactive.
Mic down.
Yeah, I don't care about Bohemian Interactive games. Like, there's
really?
I don't care about Arma. I don't care about DayZ.
I don't care about DayZ, but I do care about Arma.
I really don't care about Arma. Okay, so I have Deus Ex Mankind Divided highlighted on my notes because they actually showed gameplay. And the thing that stood out the most to me from the gameplay was the battery meter is one long meter
rather than
instead of a bunch of
little batteries,
a bunch of little cell phone battery icons.
Yeah, they're finally going back to the original Deus Ex, which also had just 1 meter.
Yeah, it's just overall energy.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Yep. Like I said, they did announce a lot of things. One, I mean, AMD talked a lot about their new cards,
They talked a lot about their new cards.
which I mean, they're cool. Like the new Fury and Fury X. I want one.
They have in summer, or not summer or later fall, maybe, I don't know. Sometime later this year, they have the Fury Nano.
Yeah,
which
which is really tiny.
It's a lot smaller. It's
all thanks to the high bandwidth memory
yeah.
stacked. So good.
The lady, the
Can't wait.
CEO of AMD,
Lisa Su.
like I liked her. Like I did not know anything about her before.
Yeah.
I mean, before this, she wasn't even a human to me. But like when I was watching her, I was like, I like her. What she's saying makes sense because she's explaining things in a way that like I understand what she's talking about.
Yeah. So I think the Fury X is supposed to come out within the week, and then they're releasing the Fury later on. But yeah, I've been an Nvidia person forever, but the last 2 or so years I've been really resenting Nvidia just because of the things that they do, especially with like GameWorks and all their
AMD's
licensing, and they just make it really difficult for AMD to do anything.
AMD's trying to put up a really good fight with their hardware, though.
Yeah, and so now with, I mean, Fury X, it's supposed to be, I think, what about the
GameWorks. You shill.
Yeah.
For those listening and not watching, I have a
NVIDIA GameWorks shirt
t-shirt.
If it was just
Yes.
an Nvidia shirt, that'd be okay. But you're wearing an Nvidia GameWorks shirt.
Yeah.
Which is
at least
worse.
it's at least it's not Nvidia Shield shirt,
There you go.
which I do have.
Didn't you give that to me, or did
I
you...
have like 3
Oh,
more.
okay. There you go. Anyway,
Yeah. So over the past couple of years, I've been resenting them for all they've done. So this year might be the time that I switch to AMD, and I'm really wanting to because of everything that they've done over the past like couple years, and I'm excited for Fury X.
I've been waiting for stacked chips for years.
Yep.
I've
And
been
AMD
looking
takes
at,
a charge.
I've been looking at research papers and stuff, and like I was thinking that stacked chips would be developed enough for current gen consoles.
Yeah.
But they barely, like they obviously they're just now coming, which is
Yeah.
2 years after after the PS4 and Xbox One come out. But like I really like it's changing the whole power to like the wattage to power.
Well, there is one issue
Aspect.
though the
first generation is only limited to 4 gigs.
Yeah, well, not just that. I'm talking about like power consumption. So the Fury X is supposed to use up one card, 300 watts of power, whereas the GTX 980 Ti uses 175 watts.
Does it really use?
It uses almost double of what the Ti.
Are you sure that's the amount used or the amount that they recommend having? Because that's completely
We're about the 2-hour mark.
okay.
Oh yeah, we can talk
Well,
about
this-
that later. But other exciting things that they announced at PC Gaming Show, Killer Instinct is coming to PC.
Yes, I was very excited.
Yeah.
First of all, I thought it was really awesome that Phil Spencer came out. For this
That's really
little rinky
cool.
dink show.
Well, Microsoft has really been pushing Xbox and Windows 10 a lot.
with Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
like,
go after they changed.
After they
they
changed them.
booted Dom.
Yeah.
And switched over to
So-
Phil Spencer. Like I think he's been doing a great job
I completely agree.
moving both Xbox in the right direction and moving
PC, yeah.
the Windows gaming division into the right direction.
Yep. So that was a pretty big thing. They also
I'm
announced.
I'm hyped for that.
Oh,
Killer
yeah.
Instinct.
They also announced that
They said Fable Legends is also cross. Well, they
That's
Oh,
already
that's
said that.
known. That's
Yeah,
known.
that's
yeah,
known.
cross-platform multiplayer.
Yeah.
Gears of War Ultimate Edition is coming to PC.
So Gears of War 1.
Yeah.
Yep. Which was already on PC.
Yeah. And then they had quite a bit like, big one, No Man's Sky was originally going to be, we only had confirmation of PS4 release.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that PC would come later, like, and other versions would come later, but it was known that they were going to focus on PS4 first. But they announced that No Man's Sky is going to have a simultaneous release on PC and PS4.
Strafe look cool.
Which one?
Strafe.
Oh yeah, Strafe. Yep.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
That wasn't the first time it showed, but Strafe, yeah.
I mean
looks really cool.
they had that Kickstarter.
Yeah, it looks.
Uh,
that video
the best trailer.
that was the best trailer. That was pretty awesome. Anyway,
David Braben, the CEO of Frontier, the guys who make Elite Dangerous, they finally announced that they're making another roller coaster tycoon type game. It's called Planet Coaster, and it looks pretty cool.
And starring.
It's been a long
Where's
time
Waldo's
since they've
brother?
done. Yeah, it's been a long time since they've done a roller coaster tycoon game.
Blue Streak. That we didn't see anything, but
Yeah.
like I liked what Cliff Blazinski had to say.
Yeah,
Because like I like competitive shooters, and you know he mentioned his aim is as good as what it used to be. Like I'm not like the worst aim, but I cannot compete against people who have like super good aim.
yeah.
And the fact
same
that
way.
he's saying that they're making weapons for people who like really good aim or people who can't aim as well, that is like music to my ears, because like I mentioned, I like competitive shooters, but I need something other than a requirement to have a good aim,
Yeah.
like Melee Class or something like that.
Yeah. Something else that was
Unreal
notable.
Championship 2.
There we go.
2.
Unreal Championship 2. Make
There
that
you go.
game.
They announced Arma
Kickstarter.
3 expansion.
Is that me?
I think so.
What is my phone making noises for? No? Anyway.
Was
I
your
don't know. Is
No.
it me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's keep going.
that was all I think that was. Oh yeah, I mean they talked about Tacoma, which is by the same development studio who made. I'm interested in that. Just because we didn't care for Gone Home doesn't mean Tacoma is going to be exactly the same.
It looks the same.
It's the same style, but doesn't mean it's going to have a bad story necessarily. But I'm willing to try it out because I like that style of
I
game.
think Firewatch takes up my slot for that because I don't
Yeah.
like. It's kind of like my Telltale thing.
Mhm.
I played Walking Dead, and I don't care for the rest.
StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, Whispers of Oblivion.
Yeah, so they're introducing like this mini series.
Need much longer subtitles.
Yes. Like
yeah, Whispers of Oblivion is supposed to be the prologue to
The prologue, to
the
epilogue.
expansion.
I really liked the was it the Wings of Liberty, the first StarCraft 2.
Yeah,
I
that's the
did not
main one.
like Heart of the Swarm.
This is supposed to be the bridge between Heart of the Swarm and
so I'm
Terabithia.
still looking forward to this because I like StarCraft, so
yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
It says a bridge between Heart of the Swarm, and I said Terabithia.
Soma looks pretty cool by Frictional Studios, same people who made Amnesia.
Yep. The thing is,
I'm
as
excited to try
awesome as that looks, I'm a scaredy pants when it comes to the games, so I'm not gonna get it. I'm
gonna get it, but I'm not gonna play it. That's
I got the games, and it's just like, oh, I'm playing it. Nope, I'm too scared to beat it.
I'll play it in like 2-minute bursts. It's like walk around, scary noise, turning off.
Quick save, turn off.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to talk about from PC?
Oh yeah, Pillars of Eternity is getting an expansion called The White March, and it's part 1.
Why does it gotta be white?
I prefer a Green April.
April showers bring May flowers.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Except this year it was more like there were no April showers and a bunch of May showers.
There was like one really big one at the very end of April, though. Anyway,
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, Day 9 did a good job
Yeah,
hosting, but the show just was too long.
yeah, he's a really good speaker. He doesn't or and like he speaks.
He's got
very
the experience. I
well.
mean, being a StarCraft commentator for years and now doing his own shows and everything. He's got a lot of experience under his belt.
Let's grade this.
PC show, C.
I didn't see the whole thing. I was just like, no thanks.
Like very deep down inside me, my anger wants to give this an F.
Why? Oh,
because of how long and slow
long
this
For you,
was.
it's been like either A or F.
But you
Bipolar
can see my
disorder.
notes. What I give it?
yeah.
I gave it a D.
Uh-huh.
I gave it a D in my notes. I did not edit that last second or anything, but I gave it a D mainly because they showed a lot of stuff. In fact, they showed more stuff on this show than any of the other ones.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
But
in a nice little package.
It was not like like Bethesda, which was more quality over quantity. This is the opposite. It was more quantity over quality. Like they showed a lot of stuff, but a lot of it I did not care about, and they were just going through it so slowly too.
Yeah.
D. That's my grade for it.
I gave them a C mainly because there was just a lot of cool AMD tech that they were talking about, and a lot of announcements that I was excited for. But the format just did not.
I have a grade for them. DNC did not complete.
Getting into racing terms.
DMC, Devil May Cry. Listeners can't see you.
It's
exclusive.
It's exclusive to the watchers.
Who watches the Watchers? Ali.
Oh, man, that's deep. Anyway,
The Watchers have become watched.
Is there anything? All right, so we got all those press conferences down. Was there anything outside the press conferences that you guys saw online that
something that was really
piqued your interest?
Not piqued my interest in a good way? Was the new Transformers game that's coming out by Platinum.
I think that looks cool.
It looks kind of dumb.
it looks like a Platinum game, but kind of the presentation's kind of cheesy, but like the combat looks like it's Platinum.
It reminded me of the PS2 Transformers game, which I really liked. So,
I don't really have anything else to comment, to be honest.
Walking Dead Michonne miniseries.
No thanks.
On one hand, I am excited for it. On the other hand, I still feel like I'm burned out from Telltale, and I haven't caught up on Game of Thrones or Borderlands.
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually
I
bought
own both of them.
I bought Borderlands on the sale. I have not bought Game of Thrones yet because I'm not caught up on the show. But yeah, seems like they've got a lot going on, and honestly,
they're beating that horse real bad.
I want them to do things different other than Walking Dead, because they're focusing a lot on Walking Dead.
They're announcing so many things. Like they have the Minecraft thing, they have the Marvel thing, they have the season 3 of Walking Dead, they have season 2.
Please just get season 2 of Wolf Among Us. That's
Wolf
all
Among
I want.
Us.
That's all I want.
They got so much going on. It's like
they don't even bother upgrading their tech. It's so garbage.
Like they don't really change the formula at all. Like it's the same gameplay style.
It's like the same. It's like Animorphs, but a different book.
It's
like one Animorphs, it's a tiger. The other one, it's like a hippo. The other one's like I don't know, a wallaby.
Man, those
I think you're making up animals now.
This looks more like a puma. Stop making up animals.
Hey, that's not a real animal. Ratchet and Clank.
I saw that before. They showed that before E3, and that looks awesome.
I haven't played. I've played like part of one of them, but not.
I was watching.
I can't remember which one.
Like both gameplay and interview, and basically what the guy was saying is it's kind of a reimagining of the first game, because this is like coinciding with the movie, which is supposed to be like the first, like the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
And so they're going to revisit some of the same levels, but there's going to be a lot of changes as well. And there's also changes as far as gameplay and weapons. Because they're basically taking all of things that they learned on game design throughout the entire series and putting the best into this game.
That's good.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
It does look really good,
like gameplay wise, and especially graphically. I was like honestly surprised.
Everything's very crisp and colorful and vibrant.
Like I was wondering if it was like 60 FPS at first, and they confirmed it was 30, but like it all blends really well. And if like Uncharted 4 does the same thing, like it's that solid 30 FPS, and as long, I wouldn't call it buttery smooth, but as long as it does not fluctuate, that is fine by me.
Yeah.
And Ratchet and Clank looks like it does that. It pulls that off.
XCOM 2. They
Oh, yeah,
said
I
that
forgot about that.
they are adding looting to the game, where like
Interesting.
the enemies will drop items and
Yeah,
stuff, which you
adding
could take
loot
back to
rates.
the base. I mean, they did have something similar in the last XCOM game, the Enemy Unknown game.
Yeah, there were certain missions where you had to like get
Like-
things from them, but
Well, not only that, but like you got like certain items from like after the mission ended.
yeah,
Like you got something that can give you a laser upgrade or something
Mhm.
like that, plasma, whatever. But it sounds like it's just going more in depth with like the whole item system.
yeah.
There's gonna be stealth now, finally.
Instead of trying to sneak up, and they just turn around and
Yeah, and then get a free turn.
Yep.
And there's also, they said they're gonna have better mod support,
Very nice.
so that's pretty
Very
cool.
nice.
I mean, like Firaxis had lots of mod support with the Civ games, so. And there's a game that I saw called Relativity. It didn't show any gameplay though, but it looked really cool. It looked like Anti-Chamber. That's for the PS4. It looks like what's it? Those like mind teasers where like you see the endless stairs.
Oh yeah.
It looked like those, the Inception endless stairs.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like that.
Yeah.
It looked really
Optical
cool.
illusions. That's the
Would like to see more of this
Yeah.
game, Relativity. So that's all I got. You guys have anything else?
Nope, my butt hurts.
I'm pretty sure all the listeners out there are glad that they got that update.
I don't care.
So, anyways,
Yeah, I'd like to reiterate, this was easily the best E3 in years. Unfortunately, only 2 of them.
It's best E3 in years. Thanks, Sony.
Yeah, thanks, Sony and Bethesda. That was great.
Bethesda and Sony. There you go. Those are the 2 right there.
Yeah.
this has probably been the most exhausting E3 as well, as far as like viewing it from the outside in. It's been the most exhausting because there's so many press conferences and so many announcements.
Yep.
And like,
Thanks to my
the
tablet, I was able to watch all of them during work.
PC gamer, thank you for wasting 2.5 hours of my life. Like,
Man, they need to fix that for next year. I'm sure they will fix it, but still.
they might as
need
well
to
like just play Lord of the Rings. Like the entire thing. Okay.
Now we're here in the
Frodo.
Shire.
Oh, Samwise.
So Kevin,
Yes,
you like being on the internet, right?
absolutely.
There's a lot of announcements on the internet this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes don't you just feel like you want to make your own announcements
Yeah, that
to
would be
the
nice.
world?
That would be nice.
Like have a place to make those announcements.
Do you have a way for me to do this?
Yes.
I want an internet real bad. How do I do
Yes.
this?
You can do this by going to DreamHost because they're a web service. They offer unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, user-friendly interface. They also optimize to use content managers such as WordPress.
Wow.
Do you know what a WordPress is?
I do.
Great. Because you can WordPress with them. And many more features, all that just for $8.95 a month.
That's phenomenal.
For $8.95, you could internet quite a bit
yeah.
Yes.
with DreamHost.
But hold on. Put your shoes back
oh.
on. Because if you use the promo code out of continues, that's one word with no spaces, it will waive away the set fee and get your free domain registration.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
Get internet for even cheaper now.
Yes. Check it out, DreamHost. Got one quick announcement. If you're using iTunes, we can definitely would definitely appreciate if you leave an iTunes review. It's one of the single most helpful things you can do for the show by leaving an iTunes review. Helps us get higher on the Apple iTunes podcast charts. If you cannot leave us a review for whatever reason, and you still want to help out the show, one really helpful thing you could do is to share our podcast on social media networks. We post the podcast each week, every Monday on Facebook and Twitter. If you retweet, if you like, if you share, that is really helpful. Or if you go to avcontinues.com and look at the post, there's going to be all the sharing buttons on the bottom. Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Reddit. It's all there. All the good ones. So it helps spread the word of the show, helps us gain a larger audience, which gives us more incentive to continue doing the show, because it's more fun
when there's people like participating.
Yeah, when people
send us emails and questions,
stuff like that. And for those of you who want to send us an email, ask us a question, or let us know what was your favorite part of E3 this year, you could email us at podcast@avcontinues.com. I'll read your feedback. I'll answer your questions. Just keep your email brief enough for me to get through it. Don't give me an essay. And we'll go from there. So, some quick shout outs and plugs. You can find me streaming gameplay on Twitch at twitch.tv/SayedStafa. That's SAYEDSTAFA. If you are listening to the MP3 version of this podcast and you enjoyed the music that you heard in the beginning, then you can check out Nathan Becker, also known as Ectogemia. That's ECTOGEMIA. You can find on Facebook.com/Ectogemia, SoundCloud.com/Ectogemia, or if you go to the show notes, link is in the show notes to find them. Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
Extra Life, we have an event coming up, Indie PopCon, if you're in the Indianapolis area. We have a pretty big arcade setup that we're going to have there, and all the donations and everything will be going straight to Riley. He'll be helping
Riley,
helping children in need. Yeah. And
Riley,
if you're not going to be in Indy, that doesn't matter. You can be a part of Extra Life and host your own events and collect money and raise money for your local hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. It's really fun, and it's worth it.
Benefits the kids.
Yep.
I love kids. And kids love Out of Continues.
Continuing.
How about you have a seat over here?
If you enjoy what you've been hearing, you can support us by liking us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can leave an iTunes review. You can contact me by email. That's podcast@avcontinues. Once again, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/outofcontinues. All those things I mentioned can be found on www.avcontinues.com. You'll find all the links to those things on the right side of your browser screen, or if you're using a mobile device, they're all on the bottom of the page. Scroll all the way down there. You can give me a tweet. I am at SayedStafa. That's at SAYEDSTAFA. And these guys,
I am at Phosphor112. That is PHOSPHOR112. And go ahead, tweet at me if you have butt pains as well.
And I am at KSTrehan. That's KSTREHAN. And do not tweet at me if you have butt pains.
I will tweet
that
at
all
you.
that goes to Ali.
Man. I'd like to thank
you can't. No, you can't say "man" to me.
I already did. I'd like to thank my guest host for joining me today, Ali.
My butt hurts. This chair is uncomfortable.
Kevin.
Thanks for having me on the show again, Stafa.
Thank you for being here today. And with that said, I'm your host, Safa. Thanks for joining us this week. And hopefully you'll join us again next week as we talk about something other than E. Trois.
E. E. Trois. Just E.